Game. Can we hear me, please? Okay,
Yes,
great.
we are.
Thank you.
Yes, we're game.
Okay, so please let's introduce that. Just someone that won't expect that maybe you don't even know, just a random name, and just send a message to that person personally, introduce yourself. And I mean, who knows? Maybe from here we have beautiful couples being friends, outside of here. So let's do that in the next 1 minute and just reach out to someone and introduce yourself so that and I will take people's introduction in the next 1 minute, or you let me know who you met in the next 1 minute. Don't be shy. Let's do that. It's exciting. I'm excited. I want to see. I can imagine people meeting themselves. Okay, PB, thank you. PB has done ours. Great, 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 great. All right, I'm guessing we have done that. So I'll reiterate for those that are just joining us. My name is Teniola, and on behalf of the One Flesh Ministry of Manifold International Church, we welcome you to today's seminar. We know it's going to be a great and amazing time for you, and we are super excited that you decided to click and join this meeting. We have seasoned speaker, Coach Eden and Chinda that will be taking us through amazing sessions. Prepare your bios, prepare your notepads, because you're going to be filling them with great stuff, right? All right, so I'm seeing people say they are done. Great, great, great. All right, what do I call? All right, Precious, can you let us know who you met on the group? Do you mind unmuting? It would be great if I can hear you unmute. Is Precious there? I know Precious typed that. I don't know if it's she or he.
Hi, good evening. Sorry, I was trying to unmute.
All right. Hi, Precious.
Hiya. So I did message Adeze and she responded as well. So yeah, lovely to meet Adeze. She's in Lagos. I'm in Wakefield.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful, exciting. Nwachuku, do you want to unmute and let us know who you met? Please, I need more people meeting people. We're going to do this for the next 2 minutes. Can we have more people meet people? I can just call your name randomly. Please oblige me. That is part of my to-do today. All right, can you unmute and let us know who you met? Please please write down. Oh.
That's okay.
Don't be shy. All right. Okay, go ahead.
I met Joyce Timothy. So.
All right. Nice to meet. You don't want to say nice to meet you, Joy Timothy. You want to say that? Oh, did you hear me, Mr. Wachuku? All right, Taiwo, who did you meet? I think I'll take 2 more and I will round up this session. Hi, Taiwo, who did you meet?
Hi, good evening. I sent a message to Rosalind Link, but she hasn't responded yet. But I also met someone named Abiodun. I introduced myself. He haven't responded to me.
Wow, nice one, Taiwo. Nice one. Thank you for joining. All right, thank you everyone for indulging me and participating. I want to introduce our church to you. Manifold International Church is very close by. We're not far from you. Even in Lagos, we are in Jibo, Yaba. We love that one time you just come and fellowship with us. We have amazing time in God's presence. Without further ado, I'll be inviting Pastor Gideon Mba, our lead senior pastor, to take us further in this session. Pastor Gideon, are you ready for us, sir?
Yes, I'm ready. Thank you, Tenny, for that time of introduction and just allowing us meet and greet. I'm so very sorry. Some challenges as to why I can't put on my video right now. I was looking forward to putting on my video, but I'm just not able to. I hope I do that before the meeting is over. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We're excited to host these couples where and please that God designed marriage to come with, and we believe in that scripture that the Bible says, and the two of them became one flesh, and that's why we are putting together this webinar to help strengthen intimacy in marriages. And I do believe that this will be a life transforming experience for all of us. Thank you. I see people joining from literally across the country and around the world. Thank you for being on this call. We would need to go straight into it because our facilitators are waiting. I met this amazing woman of God. We used to know her as Coach or Dr. Eden A. Onwoka last year, and we began to, just connect and do ministry together. And the last couple of months have been amazing. And one of the things she brings to the table is her ability to speak into marriages as one who's trained in that area. And she has very generously opened us up to yet another powerful man who we began to experience last week, Thursday, on that Instagram broadcast where both of them talked about relationships and soul ties. We simply have not recovered from that. I'm excited about the two of them just taking us on this journey. They're both married. One of them Dr. Eden lives in Texas, in the US, and Chinda lives in the UK. And to know that both of them have just so graciously decided to bless us with the gift of God that they enjoy both in their marriage and as a result of their training. We're excited. I listened to a webinar they did last 2 years or 3 years ago that spoke into intimacy in marriage. I'm telling you guys, you're going to hear some things today that will blow your mind. You're going to hear some things today that you will be grateful you were on this call because these amazing people are authentic, they are real, they understand the subject of intimacy in marriage, and they're not just skilled, they are spiritual people. I'm going to allow the video introduction to bring them up, and we would let them just get in the flow. They will be speaking to us for about 45 minutes thereabout, and then we will take questions. And we hope that we can do this before 10:30 Nigerian time. But this will be a great time. Please, you still have an opportunity to invite as many couples as possible to join us on this call right away. This will be worthwhile. I pray that every bit of the time we'll have together, everything said and done will add to intimacy in your marriages. And I believe that this will be a life transforming experience. So we're going to take some video audio introduction of our facilitators and who have graciously chosen to do this. People pay to hear them do this. People pay to, in fact, Chinda just had an event yesterday in the UK where people had to pay in pounds to just receive some of the things he's willing to give to us for free today. Dr. Eden also does a lot in having some of this information she's going to give to us paid for, but they chose to just bless us with this information. So I'm hoping that somebody would make a demand on the grace of God on their lives. So once again, on behalf of the One Flesh Ministry of Manifold International Church, and myself and my beautiful wife, I want to make welcome Pastor Eden Eonka and Chinda as they share with us in the next 45 minutes. There will be a video introduction, and then the next voices you will hear will be that of our facilitators. God bless you.
Eden Onwunka and Chinda, leadership and personal development. Together, they have impacted thousands globally using their unique skills and shared passion for coaching, mentorship, and transformation. Dr. Eden A. Onwunka, affectionately known as the Sage, is a master speaker, best-selling author, communications trainer, consultant, songwriter, and integrative coach. Having delivered keynotes across 5 continents, she is highly sought after for her expertise in marriage mediation, helping couples foster courageous and unifying conversations. Her signature program, CLAP, Communicate Like a Pro, is designed to equip emerging leaders with the skills to become unforgettable speakers. With over 20 years of corporate experience, Eden is also a top-tier technique EFT have solidified a reputation as a pioneer in the coaching industry. A 2-time cancer survivor, Eden channels her journey into cancer advocacy, earning her recognition across numerous media platforms and prestigious awards. Chinda Chinda is an award-winning transformational speaker, certified life and relationship coach, best-selling author, and NLP practitioner. As a John Maxwell Leadership Certified Coach, speaker, and trainer, Chinda's expertise spans various industries. He is the founder of Limitless Life Pro Academy, Married Life Management, Christ Ambassadors Reaching Everywhere Evangelistic Mystery Care, 2CHI Consulting Limited, and Chinda's Grocery Store Limited, UK. Chinda is deeply committed to mentoring the next generation of leaders and empowering individuals to create lasting, fulfilling relationships. His best-selling books, such as What Can I Do to Make My Marriage Work? And The Power of Personal Change, have inspired countless readers to take control of their personal growth. With his diverse background, including his role as a preacher, entrepreneur, and IT consultant, Chinda continues to lead with passion and purpose. Together, Eden and Chinda are relentless advocates for leadership development and personal transformation. Their combined expertise in communication, leadership coaching, and relationship building has positioned them as trusted guides for individuals and businesses alike. United by a shared vision of empowering others to rise to their fullest potential, they continue to inspire people around the world. Eden resides in Texas with her husband Ambrose and their 3 daughters, while Chinda makes his home in England with his wife.
Ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome.
Everyone, where is my brother Chinda? You need to spotlight him. Hey, glad to be here. Chinda, how are you doing?
Good, I'm good, Coach E. How you doing?
No, Chinda, you need to bring the energy, you need to bring I know you did a program this weekend. I know you preached at your ministry today, but we need to bring the energy. Hello, everyone. Hello, Nigeria. Hello, Manifold. Hello, friends and family. I know you've done the trivia, but you need to bring the energy. God is about to do something amazing, and there is an energy that comes with expectancy. All right, Chinda, you agree with me? When you expect, there's an expectant energy. God told me there will be instant healings. I don't know what that means. There will be instant healing. So I want us, wonderful moderator. Thank you so very much, Manifold, for the honor of, speaking life and healing and just spending time to reawaken intimacy. Chinda, how are you feeling? What are you thinking?
Well, I'm excited. I'm excited tonight because I believe that the subject of discussion is is something that needs to be spoken about, and in a real, raw, and an uncensored manner. Unfortunately, many are uncomfortable in a particular way for whatever experience or whatever thing they've gone through. So I'm excited for us to share this, and I believe that we're all going to learn one or two things, and open-minded, because you might hear some things that um, I'm sorry, no, Pastor Gideon is here. We might not say those things on the pulpit, which is perfectly understandable, but it's real stuff. So just come with an open mind and just come and receive the real, raw, uncensored truth that can bring healing, liberation, emancipation, total transformation, and to take you into more into me. See.
See me already. The way I'm behaving, I need to behave myself because I don't even want to know I'm smiling in it like a Delilah this night. Even get over. But here's the thing, Chinda. There are three things that are going to happen this night. We're going to focus on intimacy. And intimacy is not just body parts, right? Rubbing on body parts, right? Intimacy is alignment, soul alignment, spirit alignment, and of course, the overflow of emotional, psychological goes into the physiological. So like we agreed, we're going to touch three very important things that can hinder or enhance intimacy. So we're going to touch on communication, alignment. We're also going to touch on connection. You studied, and I know your first degree was anatomy, so you know a lot about body parts. Even though you have been in deeper life, how many years now? 30 years. You have been in ministry for 29 years.
Yes, by God's grace.
Like you've been in pulpit ministry from your youth ministry. So it's amazing that a deeper life knows about these things more than us. I don't know if this is Reverend Kumuya approved, but it's working. So, just an aside, Chinda is a deeper life minister or pastor in addition to everything. So I hope that heals somebody here. I hope that allows somebody to have permission, to give themselves permission to begin to, explore and intimacy. We cannot be doing thou shalt not when we are not married. Then when we are married, we will still be doing thou shalt not, right? So I love your complex background. You studied anatomy, then you went on to build on to other things. But you've been able to do the work, even though, again, you married as a virgin. Those that didn't catch the Instagram, catch it. So I don't know on what spectrum you are in your marriage, whether you're experienced, whether you are new in marriage, whether you're established. I want you to put in the chat box, I permit myself to begin again. Would you put that in the chat box? I permit myself to begin again. I permit myself to learn. I permit myself to unlearn. I permit myself to begin again. I want you to put that in the chat box. You cannot be more awake than me and Chinda. Please wake up. This is the 2 hours that you need to sacrifice. If you need to take a walk, get off the bed, definitely get off the bed. You can have happy ending later. But now I want you to say, I permit myself to begin again. I permit myself to love. I permit myself to be wild within the confines of my marriage. I permit myself to learn. I challenge everything that has limited my communication, my conflict resolution, and my cohesion. I give myself permission under God to not bring 30-fold. I give myself permission under God to not bring 60-fold when there is 100-fold. I have a lifetime to explore this wonderful blessing God has put in my way, and I permit myself to learn, unlearn, and relearn. I needed to do that because we judge every lying spirit, we judge every religious spirit, we judge every background, we judge every shame, we judge every anger, we judge every dichotomy, whatever has held you down. We judge the memories of the past, we judge the fear of the future, the insecurities of the future. I permit myself. Would you say that? And I need you to say that I permit myself. I needed us to work on the mind blocks. I permit myself. I permit myself to go from cultural, from contemporary to covenant mindset. I adopt God. Did you know that there's a reason Songs of Solomon is in the Bible? That's God literally put X-rated in the Bible to give you permission that within the confines of marriage, you should relax. I want you to say, my spouse is the best one for me. Would you put that down? And I'm going to hand over to China in a bit, but I want to work on mind blocks. I just sense that there are some mind blocks, and I don't want you to waste your time and waste our time. I don't want you to waste Manifold's time. Manifold put this together. They had other things to do, but they are invested in you, the one flesh ministry. I want you to say, my spouse is the best for me. I don't know where he is on a scale of 1 to 10, but wherever he is, he can be better. Wherever she is, she can be better. My spouse is the best. He's the right body. He's the right shape. She's the right body. She's the right body parts. Regardless if she's perfect, intermediate, experience, this is the right. My spouse is the right. Is the right fit for my destiny. It's the right for me. I love their body the way their body is. We can be better. The experience, whatever we are where we are, we will go to where we need to be. You need to say that. And now I want us to take a quick start, Chinda, and we'll get started. On a scale of 1 to 10, I want you to honestly put, if you had to grade your marriage, where would you say it is on a scale of 1 to 10? And there's no shame here. I once counseled a couple exactly 8 years ago. And the husband said, we are 8 over 10. And the wife said 3. So that means that there are 2 different realities in marriage. They were in 2 different marriages. From the husband's viewpoint, he was having a blast. The wife didn't feel. So it's good. This is a place of transparency. We're adults here. It's not PG-13. On a scale of 1 to 10, where are you in your marriage? And if you are there, that's fine. On a scale of 1 to 10, where are you in your marriage? Chinda, take it away.
I think this is quite an interesting time that we want to have here. And Eden, I would like us to begin with one thing. And the thing that I have in my mind is what intimacy is not. Because I think it's really important. Yeah. So what intimacy is not? Because if you know what intimacy is not, then your standards of intimacy might probably shift, and you will begin to understand whether what you were having was it intimacy or was it not intimacy. So knowing that intimacy is not this, then I think it goes a bit deeper to understand some of the principles and the concepts that we're going to discuss today, and that can actually help you to elaborate certain things in your mind and help you as well to know what to do better, what to stop doing, and also what to start doing, because that's what this discussion is all about. What you can start doing that you're not doing, what you can continue to do that you're doing that is great and amazing, and what you need to stop doing that is not helping the intimacy, the relationship, the communication, and the conflict resolution in your marriage. I want to, set this up by saying that intimacy is not just sex. Okay, this is real important. Intimacy is not just the physical aspect of it. There are other dimensions of intimacy. But most times when we talk about intimacy, mostly women, well, okay, go help us, right? It's physical, it's penetration, it's orgasm, it's just getting in there, that's it. It's coming and coming and coming and coming. That's what some people think intimacy is, but no, there are other dimensions of intimacy. That is the emotional side of it. That is even the non-sexual context side of it, which is very rewarding, very enjoying, and also it's not a one-time event as well. That's not intimacy. We just hit that ground running, and that's it. Everything has become amazing just after that time. No, and also intimacy is not to fix an instant marriage problem. That's not what it is. Or some people think, okay, the moment we just have this sex now, every other thing, the problem, the conflict resolution, the lack of communication, and all that will just end just because we had sex. That is not intimacy. And also intimacy is not just about touch. It's not about just because I touched your hand, I kiss your cheeks, I hold your hand, and that is intimacy. No, that's not. So just highlighting just few things that people do today that if you're not careful, you might be thinking that is intimacy, might actually start blocking your ability to understand what real intimacy is in your relationship. Sex does not automatically help the relationship to go to the deeper place of closeness, of connection, of emotional wellness. Very, very important. EJ, what do you have to say about what intimacy is not? Okay, so it's really important. And then the other thing again I wanted to say about intimacy is some people think just because I'm married, we're intimate, right? Intimacy is not just because you have a wife or you have a husband, because there are many people that have spouses in their lives, but they don't understand the depths and what intimacy carry. So having a physical human being in your life is not a guarantee that you have intimacy, because a lot of people are present in their own world in a relationship, but they are not intimate with their spouses. They are not mentally intimate. They are not intellectually intimate. They are not emotionally intimate. They are not spiritually intimate. They are not experientially intimate. They are not socially intimate. They are not financially intimate. But the only thing they do, well, we just have a couple of sex and we just think, wow, we're intimate. So this is why you need to start examining the kind of intimacy you have. And remember, here is not to judge, it's not to condemn, it's just for to awaken the reality of what intimacy is to you, and for you to also understand that it is your birthright given to you by God to have intimacy. Hence, we're talking about intimacy. And intimacy means see me financially, see me emotionally, see me mentally, see me academically, see me spiritually, see me intellectually, see me sexually, see everything. That means open, blank, nothing hidden at all. And if you cannot have that fully in your relationship, then whatever we think we're practicing, we will not get the full benefit of it. And when you don't have that full benefit of what true intimacy is, you will realize that the marriage is so lopsided, the relationship is ups and down, and all those things are just choking the ability for you to fully enjoy that marriage and relationship. Yeah, take it on, Eden.
Chinda, you've raised a few points. So I love that you talked about what intimacy is not. I want to talk about intimacy blockers. If we don't understand intimacy blockers, then we will not know when the problem is not your spouse, when the problem is an external problem. So I want you to understand that probably over 47% of married couples have not shared with their spouses that they were abused. Can we do a few house rules? Both of us are teachers. Teachers love engagement. So please feel free to utilize the chat box. I want you, when you hear something that resonates, please kindly put it in the chat box. Engagement means that you're tuned in. So please put it in the chat box. Echo whatever you write. I know you might be with your significant other cuddling. Well, find the time to write. It's very important that there's a call response, right? Please put in the chat box so that we can have a dialogue, not a monologue. But more importantly, when you put things in the chat box, you help others see it well. Many people are audio visual. So by putting in a chat box, for those that, catch on a little later, you are helping them. Is that okay? Thank you so very much for doing that. And we are still waiting for you. It's only Pastor Dayo that put on a scale of 1 to 10. We have not forgotten. We wanted to track where you were so that at the end of today, we can track where the shift. So please, again, as we continue on the scale of 1 to 10, no shame. Just put what you think or where you think you are in your marriage. And if there's no condemnation, this is a safe place, very important. I feel like I'm a 7. So Chinda, let's help them to relax. I think people are still slightly uptight. I think I'm a 7 because I think that I know that the capacity of my husband and I can be more. And somebody is expecting me to say 9.5. I'm not deluded. I'm not saying a 9.5 because I know that both of us are so trained, so exposed, so thorough. My husband has 2 master's degrees. He's lived abroad for over 30 years. He's seasoned. He's secure. I have a master's. My point is, with our intellectual capacity, our spiritual capacity, I know that we should be maximizing. So I'm thinking in terms of not potential, but in terms of what we have capacity to do. So I feel like we're in this lovely place of emotional, spiritual, physical alignment that we are 7, and that we have opportunity to chase 10,000. Chinda, on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you guys?
7.8.
Fantastic. Yes. And what are your reasons?
Yeah. So 7.8, you see, it's important to know that as human beings, even as coaches, we all have our differences. We all have our unique likes and dislikes, and we are all work in progress, right? Now, some areas in relationships from different dimensions might be stronger, and some areas might not be stronger. But at the end of the day, we want all the areas to be 10. So if you take an average of all the areas, that is where it came to 7.8. But there are some that is actually 10. But I don't want to talk about just that. Just take one of 10 and say, oh, wow, this is it. No, I have to take average of every aspect of relationship and say,
Love
okay,
it.
this is where I am. So the 10 will lose some numbers there because the other one is lower and you have an average. So this is how I arrived at 7.8.
And guess, Chida, that's exactly what I did. That's exactly what I did, because someone is expecting me to say 9 because of how solid we are, right? With my husband and I. But I took the aggregate of the buckets that we are winning, right? The spiritual alignment, the sex is glorious, right? Yeah. But I also saw the average of what we have opportunity, financial alignment, he has, we still have different ideas around finances. And yes, I'm putting it out there so you can relax. Your coaches are telling you to relax. There's no condemnation here. Then I realized that because of the life changes I had, if you listen to the Bible, I had cancer 2 times. That changed the trajectory of my family, right? So my husband became, in a sense, Mr. Mom, and I became Mrs. Mom, his mom and dad. So there are many things as a family we still do separately, right? He has his time with the girls. I do a lot of travel. So we are constantly working into that alignment. I hope that is speaking to somebody that is okay to stay where you are and to continue. Now, let me say something. Their intimacy blockers. Do you know that 47% of couples have never shared with their significant other that they have fear of intimacy because of their background that framed their mindset? In counseling, in coaching, I know how many people don't know that their spouses are struggling with abuse, like they were abused. Many men do not openly tell their spouses that they were abused. It's like a cultural taboo. How does a man tell their spouse that they were sodomized as a child? How do they tell themselves that they struggled with certain? Do you understand? I want you to, the goal for my own speaking about intimacy blockers is that you give your spouse grace. When they are saying no to you, they may be saying no because of a system, a structure, a discrepancy in their childhood. 7 out of 10 women were touched as kids by cousins, by friends, by houseboys or something. They don't necessarily share it with you. Some were raped. Yes. Some were raped by father figures, and you are a father figure in their life. So you would never know. So I want you to know that number one intimacy blockers might be fear of intimacy that is framed by abuse or violation of their inner child, that might have residual trauma. That's number one. Then there's also a religious spirit. Oh, many women are struggling with that. There are some men that are struggling with that, especially if you live a pure celibate life and you gave yourself on permission to not like the things that they are not asking you to like. So many times people get married, but they don't do the transition from no to yes. And let me repeat it again. Many people get married, they don't do the transition from no to yes. How do you move from thou shalt not to thou shalt? Come, as Chinda says, come into thou good and faithful servant and be rewarded. How do you do that transition? Some people never do that transition, and that transition is necessary. So we had all these boundaries we put because I lived a very celibate life as a single woman, right? Mostly. Then suddenly you're telling me open sesame. How do I open the sesame? Where do I begin to start? So many people have not consciously permitted themselves to enjoy the thing that structurally, spiritually, religiously, from their family was a taboo. In fact, the average African family and Asian family, the average Christian family or religious family, no matter what faith or interfaith, they don't talk about intimacy. The first time you hear intimacy or sex, it was framed as a bad thing. Chances are that most of us, please put it in the chat box. Did you have any form of sex education? Did anyone sit you down and say, this thing is beautiful? Oh my God, this thing is a pleasure place. I want you to wait for it. No, they didn't teach you as waiting. They told you as don't. So they didn't present it as something that you are aspirational towards. They told you as like, most of us said, if you get pregnant, you will be chased out of this house. If a man touch you. Most people heard it like that. Most people heard you will carry disease. God will punish you. You will go to hell. I'm telling you the truth. I was one of the few that my mom attempted some sort of, God bless her because she's a teacher. She attended some sort of sex education when I was going to boarding school. She sat us down and said, if any man touch you, if they didn't touch you, if any girl touch you. My mom even attempted to teach us about lesbianism. That's why when we went to secondary school, all girls school, and they were doing this Oruks, I knew what it was because my mom, but she didn't even tell me about this is the clitoris. No, many of us who left it in biology class by half-baked teachers who didn't even know where they were teaching. So they didn't sit down and teach you. I'm setting the phrase for you to know that most of us had a subtle knowledge of it. Then the man, the expert, who learned about intimacy through pornography, oh yes, or through the bro. So the intimacy they learned was not from their fathers. They had no model. So they had a fantastic thing in Manifold International Church by a pastor from Uganda. He said, you can't mandate what you don't model. Somebody needs to put it down. You can't mandate what you don't model. So many of us did not have models, and we're trying to mandate what we didn't model. Do you understand? So it's tricky. So the average gentleman learned it the wrong way. From an uncle, from Super Story, from a tabloid, from porn, accidental porn or magazines, or they learned it from bigger uncles or whatever, and they learned it as objectification of the woman. Oh Lord, deliverance is happening here. Then we learned it as objectification of the woman, not as she's worthy and you should honor her. They learned it as stake, as body counts. How many women you don't body count? So they had this, bro code. So people, China, you have cousins now. People were, what's the word? People were boasting with body counts. I don't sleep this. I don't sleep. That's how they learned. That was their first introduction into manhood. It's not like the Jewish culture where they had the mitzvah. There's like a rite of passage around you becoming a teenager. They sit you down, you learn the Torah, they teach you. No. It didn't happen like that. It didn't happen like that. Many people learned it from Ikebe Super. Oh Lord, if you are growing in Nigeria, where you saw those things, that's how they learned it. Then the thing they didn't learn from Ikebe Super, they learned from their bros. And the rest they learned from pornography. And the danger of that kind of subliminal programming is that women are body parts. Then you take it. So you never really learned. You thought that learning from the perverted intimacy of pornography will make you an expert. No. So the women are saying to me, I've coached over 10,000 women in 8 years. Chinda, we're going to break tables tonight and deliver destinies. Women are saying, please, when we're intimate, I love you, but don't, we want lubricant. Use lubricant or anointing oil. Please don't use saliva. You know where you learned the saliva from? You learned it from porn. Oh, yes, Chinda, I'm going there. Your women say, I don't know how to tell you, you'll be angry. Use anointing oil. At least we know that you are holding the place. Or lubricant is cheap. Every pharmacy has it. Don't use spit. The women are saying, please change your boxers. They are saying, I know that Lagos is crazy. I know that Texas is humid. But can you shower? You want to jump me and there's a stink that is not anointed. They're saying, please pay attention to grooming. Nobody told you. You were raised different from the woman. The woman from when she was 5 years old says, this is how you do your husband has, is this when you not cook? So there was a grooming of the woman to be ready for marriage, and the men were exempt. So you're not typically accountable, and I'm not talking to you. I'm using you as the third party. So those things you put into intimacy, so there are intimacy blocks. There's a cultural block. There's a mental block. Then the third thing is that there are hormonal imbalances. We have to accept that this is the truth. There are hormonal imbalances sometimes when some people have fertility issues and they have to take birth control, and those things, it messes with their physiology and their biology. Oh, the human brain is wired to absorb biochemicals, that you would know this because you're in anatomy. These things mess. But birth control messes with the cycle, and anytime the woman is out of rhythm, or even the man, sometimes the men are the ones on medication. If people here, if you have hypertensive BP medications, diabetes medication, so one is curing one thing and creating another problem. Oh yes, prolonged diabetic medication and certain BP affects libido. So it's not like the man does not want you, just that he's trying his best. So I want you to consider, for your kind consideration, that some intimacy blockers are caused by medication. Oh, yes. Medication. Antidepressants, depressants. Oh, yes. And some intimacy blockers are caused by Someone put in the comment, grief. Oh, Lord. And grief is not, but the person died 18 years ago. Every time there's a resurrection of emotions and memory, there's a block. There's a block. Grief. So as a spouse, there's a way you can help a grieving spouse, especially if they've lost. I have lost 4 parents. I don't like to brag on, because this is not a competition of who suffered the most. But my mom of blessed memory has been laid to rest. My husband, my father of blessed memory, 20 years now. My mom, 3 years. Laid my mother-in-law and my father-in-law in 2017. I'm telling you that at those seasons of my life, what I needed most was understanding. Grief can make people emotionally check out of even a good marriage. It happened to me when I was, lost my mother. I said to myself, nothing else mattered. Well, even marriage does not matter. I emotionally checked out. I started sleeping in the guest room. We are here keeping things real. Thank God I have a secure, safe, very patient man. Imagine if I had somebody who was increasing the problem. I felt so disconnected emotionally with my husband because he wasn't grieving the way I was grieving. I wanted him to grieve like me. I didn't see him cry and I judged him. I said, you didn't cry for your mother. You didn't cry for it. So who would you cry for? My point being that, please make no mistake, grief does affect intimacy. Another thing that affects intimacy is sickness. Sickness. I've been there too. Every time you're sick, something changes. When I was in cancer treatment, I didn't feel beautiful. I was always beautiful. But in that moment where chemo took away my hair, changed my skin, my gum was bleeding, I wasn't feeling beautiful. And I know my husband consciously will walk past me and say, my beautiful and sexy wife. And I'll be like, who is that? If you don't understand intimacy blockers, you would think is a one size fits all. Then extreme tiredness is an intimacy blocker. That's why, please write it down. Your best foreplay is chore play. Oh Lord. Chores. Chore play is your best foreplay. Check every woman who is willing, or every spouse who is willing. The other spouse removes the block. My husband is such an excellent father. My husband serves his family. Yesterday, he served us pounded and we ate. I gave him happy ending this morning, as early as 3 a.m. Why? Because he lets me sleep. I rest. Chore play is foreplay. If you don't help your spouse decompress, women, that's where you come in. Your responsibility as a covenant woman is to make sure that you step down the cortisol on your husband's life. Oh Lord, I say your responsibility. My responsibility to Ambrose Ifakarachiwo is to be a stressometer, to discern when he's very stressed and do my job, God helping me to put down his stress. Husbands, your responsibility is to make sure that regardless of your cultural upbringing, regardless of your contemporary upbringing, if a woman is stressed, she can't come. She doesn't want to comfort. Comfort is the willingness to engage. Come is the aftermath of the comfort. So she cannot come forth. She's resisting because she's tired. Especially more women are in the nurturer mode. So once they enter that nurturer mode, children, plate, food, ibagiri, rice and stew, beans, lasagna, they're like, leave me alone. So I want you to know that these are very important intimacy blockers. Now, the religious spirit is another intimacy blocker. And I want to, because many women, especially, are there. There are a few men, but it's mostly women. So women, before I hand over to Chinda, I want to speak to you from a sister girl and a soulmate to you. That's why I said, women, you will be delivered so you can enjoy this thing. It's not, there's no intimacy in heaven in that way. Enjoy it. And part of the thing that women we struggle with is because we think that if I show up in a certain way in my bedroom, then my husband thinks I'm wild. Girl, be wild. I don't know where else you need to be wild. Chinda, am I on track? Chinzi is, and again, intimacy is not a temperament. No. It's not a temperament. So don't say it's not my temperament. No. You can be any temperament you want. You can be Virgin Maria in your temperament, but on that bed, you'll be wild and Deborah needs to arise. It's not a temperament. Intimacy is role play. Please write it down. Oh Lord, I say intimacy is role play, meaning you can take the form of something that is not naturally to you, because in that moment, you are serving a ministry need. It's a ministry, this ministry. I don't know what you think ministry. You think it's only praying. No. There are certain altars that you fireize in your home that takes care of other altars. The day God said to me, Eden, this is not sex, this is communion. Well, that's the day I changed my mindset around intimacy. He said, do you think this is? He said, this is not sex, Eden, this is communion. Communion is usually ratified with a blood covenant. So every time you are intimate, you are breaking bread. Oh Lord, who is helping me today? Every time you are intimate, woman of God, you are breaking bread. Daughter of Zion, every time you are intimate, you are breaking bread. Because in the Old Testament, there was no marriage. It was an Adam knew Eve. So every time there is a newing, Knewing. Every time there's a newing, So I want you to give yourself permission, woman of God. And don't think that it diminishes who you are. No, you can be quiet and be wild on the bed. Where else do you want to be wild anyway? You've waited all your life for this. You have a lifetime for it. And guess what? There are many people in the wings who wish that they had what you had. Oh, yes. There are single mothers, there are widows that will do anything for one more white night with their king. Every time you don't show up with gratitude and take what God has given to you in the bountiful of his mercies, you are telling God you're not grateful. And I know it will not be perfect. That's why you have a lifetime to keep practicing until you get to the rhythm. And I know, yes, you don't like the way he touches you, so teach him how you want to be touched. Take his hands. Oh Lord, lovingly, guidingly say, when you do this, he's not as interested as when you do this. Do you understand? Guys, I know that you want to pull her in her boobies like Momo. She's not Momo. She said, no. If there's a way, Chinda, I would leave that one for Chinda. My point is, woman, there are 3 roles you can potentially play in your marital bed. Number 1, receptor. That's the one you're accustomed to. You lie down and collect. They serve you food, you eat. That's good. But that's the starting point. That's not where you should be. Most women are on the receptor. There's the initiator and the participator. Today, I want you to challenge everything you've ever known and give yourself permission to be initiator and participator too. The men are asking that you initiate sometimes. After all, I didn't see Boaz go to Ruth. Ruth went to Boaz and lay down at his feet. Oh, you're anointed to initiate. And there are times that the king didn't send for Esther, and Esther dutifully went to the king. So don't just be the receptor. There's a crisis of intimacy because someone thinks that they are only anointed to collect. I'm trying to not look in your direction, but you know I'm talking to you. The Holy Spirit is talking to you. You think you're anointed to collect, so you're like, well, I just lie down and collect. And your mind is somewhere in Kafanchan. Absolutely not. You are anointed to be initiator. Initiator means that you understand that you're a major participant, you are in this role, that this is mutual. It's not he's making love to me, it's we are making love. We, oh Lord, it's not he's making love to me, it's both of us. So participation means that you are part of it. You show some excitement, not, oh yeah, do, go and go. No. You giddy up like a girl. Oh my God. Yeah, sometimes I say it's role play. It's not acting. It's not fake. It's a role play. I had to train myself to show some enthusiasm with my husband when he comes back. The Holy Spirit said he can't come back and you're sitting down. So I had to become a girl. Welcome, my love. I started calling him my sexy man, my sweet, sexy man. Every time I'm intimate with my husband, I had to vocalize my affirmation and validation. Those that know me, especially in my inner circle, I started calling him Union Bank. Union Bank, big, strong, reliable. And the guy starts to feel good. Yes, I started giving him names. FS Captain, Forever Sex Captain. What are you doing to motivate the man? What are you doing? And every time he hits a home run, he comes, I tell him, welcome, thank you. Why do I say thank you? Because I am a participator in intimacy. I'm not there, I'm not leaving my mind. My mind is there. I'm verbalizing. I'm not just quiet. What are you? Is that intimacy not quiet time? And intimacy must not always happen in the dark. Off light. Why are you offing light? Sometimes see the package that God has presented to you. The mountain that cannot be moved. See it. You know, adore it, affirm it. Say, wow. You know what I tell my husband? I said, I'm so glad that I never have to think of having a disease when I'm with you. Thank you for being such a disciplined man. And you're fine. African butter. Look at it. Hold it. It's not a sin to hold it. You know what I'm talking about? Hold it. Please hold it. It's yours. It's yours. Sometimes I tease my husband, who has this? Baby, who does it belong to? He said, it's you. I said, yes. Hold it. Hold it. It's a secret tool of warfare. Chinda. So don't just be the receptor. Be a participator and an initiator. Let me give you a simple hack. Most, not all men, there are exceptions to every rule, but most sanguine men, or those that are like, what's that thing, temperament? What's your temperament, Chinda, you people? Extroverted.
Sanguine choleric.
Yes, no, the extroverted. You people are extroverted, right? Most extroverted men, the average man needs to release every 72 hours. Somebody just said, Mugbe, I heard you in the spirit. You're like, my God. Meaning that every 72 hours, biologically, physiologically, they are wired to release in a marriage, especially when the object of their affection is close by. And biologically speaking, every night, men have an erection unconsciously. No, they are not sinners. They're not thinking about dirty thoughts. It's just a reflex of their body. So if you are struggling to be initiator, because some women said the guy just does not stop, he goes on and on and on and on, and I'll get tired, no problem. So work with biology. God is kind. The fastest way to climb the mountain is when you're climbing the mountain. You didn't hear me. When you already climbed. So in that middle of the night, early in the morning, their biology is already wired to almost release. So jump on it. We used to struggle with finding a perfect time. So we didn't have as much intimacy because my husband, remember, he's nurturer. So he's also Mr. Mom. He's doing a lot. So he was always tired until one day the Holy Spirit said, who told you must do it at this particular time? Who told you it must be during bedtime? Why can't it be in the morning? Because biologically, he's refreshed. He's in a sound mind. And again, listen, this template will look different from person to person. I'm just sharing you that there's something that can work for you if you are creative and open for ideas. And the Holy Spirit is a helper. He will teach you. He taught me, said, Eden, did you know that between 2 a.m. and 3 a.m., men are having an erection? I said, I like doing work that is very easy. So I can actually sleep early and wake up in the middle of the night, pray, and be ready for him. And guess what? Our intimacy, the regularity of our intimacy, the intensity of our intimacy probably went from 60 to 90% just by changing the timing, by working with physiology, by removing the fact that I need to be the receptors. A precious woman this week said, but the problem is that any time that I wanted, my husband is overwhelmed and tired. So I said, who makes the pass? He said him, but every time I said, if you were hungry, hypothetically speaking, would it matter who brought the food to you? Would it matter who brought the food to you? If you were really hungry, would they say, so you ate? Oh, it will only matter that you ate. It will matter who brought the food to you. So I've shared intimacy blockers. I've also shared the cultural mindset that prevents mostly women that lets us just be receptors when we can be both initiators and participators. Back to you, Chinda.
Right. Thank you so much. I mean, there's quite a lot has been shared here, and I believe that everyone is taking notes. But while you were sharing, there's just one thing that I just wanted to highlight, which is around the area of guilt and shame. A lot of people are not giving themselves permission to fully enjoy. I mean, everything we've said now is really amazing, it's really good, but there are people that have this thing hanging over them. They are carrying the burden of shame, burden of guilt, of what they have done before, of what has happened in their past. Now, this is the future. And because of that, even the husband cannot access them. They cannot access the husband because they are carrying guilt and shame. And I want to say this. You know, I love what God says. There is no more condemnation for them which are in Christ Jesus. Now, whatever happened at the time, whether it's via rape, whether it's forcefulness, whether it was abuse, it doesn't, whatever has happened within your family, brother rape, sister rape, or uncle, or ex-boyfriend, gang rape, whatever it is, but your life now, this is great, this is amazing, this is beautiful, but you got to heal from that. Otherwise, you cannot fully give yourself. What Eden has explained is someone that is in a place where there is no guilt, where there is no shame anymore, that you have freed yourself from that. And I say this, I was speaking to a lady been married. You won't believe this. For 19 years, the husband has never seen her nakedness. 19 years. And I ask her, excuse me, how is that possible? She goes to take a shower, she locks the door, and by the time he finished, she dressed up from the shower and she come out. I mean, for 19 years. And this person is abroad, though. I'm not talking about Africa. Is here. It's shocking. So when they're doing it, it must be in the night where darkness have loomed everywhere.
When you are not witches.
Unfortunately, in the UK, you have constant power supply. But she chose for the power to go. You know, there shouldn't be any power around. But I now asked why. I keep going, why? And that was where she opened up.
Trauma. Covering up is a trauma response.
That's right. In her childhood, you know, her uncle slept with her as a girl, you know, then another, unfortunately, her brother slept with her again. And the whole thing just made her, she's sickened and she feels guilt that it's her fault. You know, this is why this happened and all that. And then she married because of her mom so that she can have grandchildren for her mom because she didn't want to do anything with any man. So she carried that for 19 years. Now, by the time we dealt with that, I made her to realize it wasn't her fault. You were a girl, they took advantage of you, they're supposed to protect you, but she has never accepted that it wasn't her fault. Somebody that was less than 12 years old has been molested in this level. But at the end, look at what happened. Because she doesn't even enjoy it. She just do it for the man, and the man has been patient. After the healing, guess what? So this day, she finished having a shower, and every time she's dressing up, the husband turned to the wall. Oh my God, have mercy. He doesn't look back. So she said, turn. The man said, I don't understand. Turn. So the man turned and screamed and turned back, said, I'm sorry, you warned me, I'm sorry. He said, no, turn and look at me. For the first time in 19 years of marriage, what trauma can do to someone is unbelievable. Now, you might be here listening to me. I don't know what happened. Maybe there was an abortion or maybe something happened. You did something. Look, there is no more condemnation. If you have come to the Lord, your sins have been thrown into the ocean of forgetfulness. You've confessed, you've repented, you've turned away. That cannot continue to define you today. So whatever baggage, whatever pain, whatever has happened in your past, that guilt and shame must be dropped. Otherwise, you will continue to struggle. And then, especially we, mostly people within the Christian fold, Eden highlighted this. A lot of us, even to mention vagina, penis, clitoris, fingering, we're so ashamed. Oh my God, why should I talk about? Oh my God, this is impure. So even while Eden is talking, I believe there are people here, they are feeling so sorry for her. How can you be saying this kind of thing? This is serious now. No, just tell us that it's apple and tell us it's carrot. The carrot made the tomatoes and the tomatoes went back home. Don't mention this thing. And you want us to put it in that way because there is something that has blocked you. It's not, I don't have carrot. I've got penis, right? My wife doesn't have tomatoes. It's not even tomatoes, right? It's real vagina. It's good. It's vulva. It's clitoris. It's really nice. So there is nothing shame there. Okay? So it's good to open up. It's good to speak about these things. It's good to be bold. Are you aware that God does not have sex? Oh, Jesus does not have sex. Holy Spirit does not have sex. He gave us the chance for us to enjoy ourselves. Nollywood didn't create it. Hollywood didn't create it. Bollywood, Booger wood, hippopotamus wood, chai chick wood. There's nothing like that. It was given to us. It's a gift from God. So whatever is the blocker in your relationship, it's time to openly come out. If you gotta seek counseling, therapy, us or somewhere else, you got to deal with that thing that is holding you back from freeing yourself. Some other people, even in that relationship, with that environment of exploring incredible and amazing sexual satisfaction, they feel they are not worthy enough to really explore and enjoy sexual intercourse, which is really, really sad. And I want to speak to the men. I hope men are here, and I hope that men, we do whatever they can to up their game. I shared this thing the last time. It's proven that majority of us men, I always say this, that if men get it right, honestly, the sexual intercourse will be on another level in any marriage. Because there is something about the woman. They have the innate ability to follow, innate ability to support, innate ability to do things. But we, because of our ego, our pride, and all sorts of things, sometimes even when the woman is trying to do stuff, it's like, what is it? It's like, do you think I don't know what I'm doing? You know, were you here when I was born? Did you know? And all sorts of things blocking them. But if the man make up his mind to say, no, I'm going to lead here. I'm going to make sure my spouse enjoy sexual intercourse. And ladies and men, are you aware that women are designed to have more orgasm than us? Yes. By science.
Chinda, I love that you are going there. I really wanted you to talk about the orgasmic gap.
That's right. So it's really, really important that we understand that this aspect of orgasm and sexual satisfaction, the man has been exploring and enjoying this thing for decades and centuries. And the women, some of them are just objectifying, some of them are just there, and some religious women are just saying, give it to, don't defraud your husband, don't defraud. But you are being deprived, defraud of orgasm, defraud of full sexual satisfaction. The woman is not just sex giver. They're not just satisfaction giver. They also need to enjoy it. But the problem is men have not fully taken the lead to actually say, you know what? I will ensure both of us mutually enjoy this. So when they did that research, 550,000 couples, they found that 95% of men that have sex, within 5 minutes, they have their orgasm. And guess what? The ladies via sexual intercourse is about 64, 65% thereabout. But now these are women that have been fully prepared, fully moist, fully ready, fully emotionally all right, before they could have that. Those that are just average is even less than 50. Now, for a woman to fully enjoy sex based on science, she needs a minimum of 18 minutes.
18 minutes. So the man prematurely ejaculates at 5 minutes, and the woman is just getting started, because the average biological woman needs at least 18 minutes of intentional, working and foreplay and all those preparations.
Absolutely.
Please keep going.
Absolutely. Right. So now, if you think about it, this is a powerful knowledge where men, based on our wiring, can easily arrive, can easily have orgasm. But the woman is not like that. So now what are you going to do? If you're minus 18 from 5, you know what it is. We have 15 minutes. And this is why sometimes when a man and a woman engage in sexual intercourse, without proper preparation, engagement, emotional awareness, connection, love, and all the pettiness and foreplay, it's like taking the woman to Dubai desert while she's climbing, just about to climb on top of the camel. The man has already finished what is back to London. He's already working and doing presentation at work. And the woman is just, excuse me, honey, where is he? He's gone. The man has gone back to the UK. He's gone back to Lagos. He's actually doing presentation for his company. The woman is in Dubai looking for the husband. Why?
The woman is still boarding plane, and the man has arrived home with Uber.
He has arrived. He has already traveled. And the woman is wondering, I thought we came to Dubai together. Did you take flight and leave me here? So that alone can be a massive issue. So now, why will you stay with her in Dubai there until both of you ride the camel, enjoy the camel, then take the flight and come back home together? What are you going to do so that you start leaving your wives at Sahara Desert, Dubai Desert, a lot of them in the field, seeking for safety? The sun is hitting them. They are wondering, where's my husband? Where's my husband? He's gone home, left you over there. Now, why? Number one, many men do not understand this gap. A lot of men don't even understand that their woman needs time.
Time.
They
Intimacy
need
for a woman is
time.
Time. Time.
Absolutely. They need time. But a lot of men they're not conscious. They're not even aware of their fastness, like Formula One, and they realize that the woman, no, I need time before I arrive there. And because that time is not there, the woman is not able to fully get to where she needs to be. So some men think sexual intercourse is penis in vagina, PIV, right? That's not what it is. So men do not even understand, how do I prepare the woman even before going into the bedroom? Throughout the day, the way I talk, even talks about chore play, the way I help, the way I support, the way I connect, the way
Setting
I text,
the
the
tone,
way I hold.
affirmations, non-sexual touches. So
Absolutely.
non-sexual touches, not what's the word? Chinda, please help me with the word. Not suggestive. No. Exactly. Non-sexual, like kissing on the forehead, treating like a queen, just like a little girl. Non-sexual touches, non-sexual, not touches that have agenda, not butt tapping, just regular, like you are worthy kind of touch, holding the hand, kissing the hand, and just, holding like a body, and just like you do with your wife, sending a message like, I'm at the airport, what do you need me to buy for you? What can I do to make today easier? How was your day? Lay it all on me.
Right.
Just the sense that I am not just a body. That's how a lot of women feel. I am my body. You are coming now because you want the body. So they want you to see, I want you to see the intelligent mind in this body. I want you to see the vibrant spirit. I want you to bless me. I want you to send a text, send many texts. And unfortunately, sometimes the only text messages, if you watch your phones, is please buy crayfish and the diaper. No. It's not buy this and don't buy this. It's just a text that has nothing to do with the family. It's not about crayfish. It's not about, please, the meal has finished. Can you stop at Mulaika? No. It's, how are you? How was your day? Is there something I can pray for you? I'm believing God for great things for you. My husband sends a text message every single day. Every single day. Hello, and my sexy and beautiful bride. You don't do that to Chimzi. Sometimes you call her, you call her, tell her what you're going to do. I'm going to cook dinner, and you tell her what you're going to do to her.
That's
so please
right.
go
Absolutely.
ahead. I wanted to highlight that.
And it's really, really important that, women are in that emotional place of connection with the man. Now, sometimes we just come back, you just want to go in there. Like, seriously, like, some women are sincerely tired, like really sincerely tired. We understand the fact that, okay, she have to do some duty sex and all that, but there are times she's really tired with the kids, with work, with driving, with all the challenges and everything. And the man say, well, no, you need to be sensitive. You need to understand that this woman needs some time. And also you need to know that it's not all the time that, our penis is erected. You just have to put it somewhere immediately. Look at the psychology, look at the mentality, look at the emotion, look at everything that is happening. If a man and woman have a misunderstanding, the man just want to do something immediately. And the woman is wondering, are you out of your mind? Like, I'm not happy. And the man will say, what do you mean? The vagina is fine. It's you that is not fine. The vagina is fine. Excuse me, who is carrying the vagina? Is it in the air? Is it hang on the tree that you can just call it like apple and just go away like that? No. So understanding all these details about the woman life, and then also in the body, the way you treat her during the day, the way you make her feel during the day, the way you understand her goes a long way. I was saying this thing to people the other day, and I say, for me, I strongly believe that women have two types of wetness. One is voluntary and the one is involuntary. Now, the involuntary one is, I call it the happiness wetness. Like, you have treated her well. You have connected her during the day. You've chopped the onions. You've cleaned the car. You've supported her. You've shown her sincerity. Some people, well, they might have all the house boy and the house girl and all this kind of stuff, but there are still certain things you need to do for the woman. Let her feel your presence and your support. Everything you need to do to make sure that she's in that emotional place to connect with you is very, very powerful. When you do this during the day, this is practical. I've experienced it with my wife. The moment you go down to the room, or you put the pan down, because some of us are anointed to do that. When you do that, the whole place is like River Jordan. It's like River Niger, flood everywhere. You haven't even done anything. It's just telling you, oh, my son, you have worked so hard, you have evangelized, coming to me now, you come and receive your reward, thou faithful servant. You will see the thing will be welcoming you. He's very happy, very excited. You've not even done anything because of all the things you have done during the day. So all these things has a way to impart the relationship. Then when you come into the place of doing stuff, don't always rush. Sometimes the slow sex is, my goodness, sweet, very sweet, very, very sweet. All this rush, this thing they do in pornography. Sometimes the way you're clapping that, instead the vagina will say, I'm gonna die here. This is not, you are beating me, you're not even enjoying me, you are slapping me, you are beating me. Oh. This is abusing vagina. He's speaking to you. You're slapping the vagina, you're beating it. It's not fair.
There's no reading.
Exactly.
So Chinda, very important. There's no reading, there's no reverence. And it's not restorative. You have to have the three. No,
exactly.
No, you
have to be reading, you know.
And there has to be reverence.
Absolutely.
My husband will ask me, baby, are you ready for me to come? I'll say, give me a few minutes. Chinda, but before you continue, a man is saying, but I'm trying my best. It's just that the tear escaped me. Quickly, before you continue, don't hold that thought. Don't stop. I need you to finish this orgasmic gap and the arousal sequence, you know. I want you to speak to things that a man can do to train. You know, it's not natural for everybody. They are doing their best. They're like, I'm trying, just that the thing escaped me. Like I say, on your man, guess so, and the gun went. So if the gun not to go, you talked about things, the diet, you talked about some things.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it's a man experiencing that, okay? Sometimes it's also our own personal lifestyle. Let's be honest about it, right? And also because of our age. Okay, when a man is over 35, 1 or 2%, he start losing testosterone, sex drive. When you're over 40, some science said 3, 5, 4%. And if a man is not exercising, a man is not eating properly, especially men with no offense, men with big stomach, wives, if your husband have big stomach, it's a challenge. Remember, the blood comes from the heart, it pumps from there to go down to your pelvic region. When you have big stomach, the stomach is competing with the blood coming from here that needs to go to the organ. So a big stomach of a man is equivalent of a thief. So a big stomach steals blood that is meant for the wife. So this is why most men with big stomach, they come very, very fast, because the blood that's supposed to go and keep this thing erected is being used by all sorts of things from the stomach. So a big stomach is a threat. Now, shredding that, we go a long way. Number 2, lack of exercise, lack of Kegel exercise, sitting up, stretching, all these things. If you are not doing it redentally when you're over 40, it's a problem. A man that is drinking, a man that is smoking is a big problem. A man that is always eating all the processed food, all the biscuits, all the pizzas, all the oil. These things are affecting your ability to perform. But there are other good food you can eat. The garlic is very good for us. Oyster is very good for us. You know, spinach is very vegetable. They are very, very good for us. All these things have very powerful, potent ability to help you. You can even search this online. What are the good food to eat to maintain the ability to perform very well? Now, losing weight is another thing. Losing weight is another thing. Last year, I lost about 16 kg. Me, by the grace of God, naturally, I'm very good in bed. Praise Jesus. God has really helped me to perfect that area. But guess what? Because of my natural ability, when I lost weight, oh my goodness me, my performance ability went to a whole new level. Now, it is to the extent that my wife was thinking, should I go back to my parents? I said, no, I've already paid for you. You're going to be here to the coming of Christ. You're not going anywhere. So, you have lost it too. I said, I'm sorry, but we keep going. It changed the dynamics completely because I've removed a lot of toxins from my body. I've removed a lot of things that shouldn't be there.
Chinda, hold that thought for a minute. And while you are there, women, there are certain foods that enhance the vagina smell and taste. Smoothies, strawberries. Women, there is a smell so that when they are there, you are fruity. You know, you are fruit adventure. Don't go and be bitter leaf. Kai, no, you know, things, veggies, smoothies, strawberries, grapes, makes the vagina fruity. I won't say more than that. Please continue. I just wanted to add the women's zone, you know, while you're doing.
Absolutely. So what I'm saying is that for men, it's really, really important because what you eat a lot is going to impart your ability to perform. Now, look at watermelon. Watermelon is very, very good for us. But how many men actually take watermelon? Now, our food is full of starch because it's the starchy food we eat, the rice, the gari, the pounded yam, is just full of starch. It's not giving us the ability to receive nutrients that can support our organs to be effective. Spinach, like I mentioned, is really, really good. You have nuts, seeds, cashew nuts, like almond nuts. Those things are really, really good for us. Some people say, well, it's not food. I don't really matter. Why should I be eating it? It's really good for you. But if you're not taking it to affect you, I mentioned garlic. Garlic has something called allicin, very powerful substance that can really, really help the men. Oyster, seafood is really, really good for the men. Banana.
Aphrodisiacs.
Absolutely.
They just help,
right?
libido.
Banana is very, very good. Fish is very, very good. But things that you must avoid, especially, this is so important for the men, women, help us. Sugar. Excessive sugar. No, sugar is not good for us at all. Highly processed food, not good for us. Too much, well, I'm not even gonna too much. Any alcohol. If you can get rid of it, it will really help you because some people, their body is not good for that. Other people is all these things that, you know, when they go out, some people are smoking, not good for you. Swallowing things, substance, you know, people taking all this substance to enhance their body instead of going to the natural one. Those things are very temporary. At the end of the day, it's able to weaken your ability to really perform properly. Now, some men are not doing Kenga exercise. All this sitting down, stretching, just type Kenga exercise for men on YouTube, online. Very simple, 5 minutes a day. You will see how your pelvic region start being strengthening. It will be strengthening. Your perineal muscles will start gaining more strength. A muscle you don't strengthen will be weak. And when it's weak, you will not be able to use it properly. So this is why it's really, really important for men to take it very seriously. It's not just about all the women. We have to look after ourselves. Some people that have all this erectile dysfunction stuff, which could be due to a lot of things, but there are men that erectile dysfunction has been cured by losing weight, by reducing the stomach fat, by taking away, taking away all the sugars, taking away all the processed food. The impact will just hugely, change the game for you. The other one is that you need to communicate. If you need to go and see a doctor, please don't be shy. Go and see a doctor. Go and see a gynecologist. If you have tried all these things, you see something still persists, there's nothing wrong to book a private doctor assessment test just to check whether other things happening to you could just help you to be a better man, to be an effective person in your relationship. When you do all these things, you will see the change and the shift will begin to happen in the way you connect with your spouse. I want to talk about sex cycle here. Now, previously, this is the sex cycle that have been used in most time in the past. It's called desire, arousal, resolution, and rest. Okay? Desire, arousal. Arousal, desire, resolution, and rest. Now, arousal, we know, men, the moment we just see with ladies, is there. And then we desire, and then we want to do something, and then we rest and we sleep. Now, they were using that same sex cycle to...
Chinda, somebody needs to put it in the chat box. I want to be sure that we are getting engagement.
So,
seriously,
so arousal...
No, I want to ask that the engagement from the men increase. Very important. I'm seeing mostly the women commenting. I'm
I
saluting
just
the
hope
men
that the
who are
men are here,
commenting.
and I just hope
Yes,
that the men
a
are
couple
here,
of
because this
men,
is
shout
really
out to you,
important.
but I need to have more men engaged, you know. Spiritual leadership is powerful, psychological leadership is powerful, but the real leadership is taking responsibility for intimacy the right way. So the men
That's
are
right.
here. Fantastic. God bless you. You
Oh,
know, I
the men
just
are here.
wanted to be sure.
Fantastic. So,
Yes.
so now, men, we have arousal, we have desire, we have resolution, we have rest. Now, this is how they've used to explain women sex cycle before, which was wrong. But a couple of years ago, they discovered that instead of arousal, is flipped, is desire. So women is desire first, then arousal, and then resolution. But a lot of men was judging their women that the man say, I
Chinda,
want you, and
I
the woman say,
believe, Chinda, I believe that this is the deliverance most couples will need. So forgive me that I want you to do it again.
that's right.
So what you're saying is that before, based on a medical clinical research, they took the sex cycle of men and assumed that the sex cycle of men were the same with women. For over 80 years. So the cycle of men begins with arousal.
That's right.
So meaning when a man feels it, he gets. So for a man, arousal precedes desire.
That's right.
So arousal powers desire, that they don't feel it. They don't have to feel it to arouse. So the cycle of a man begins with arousal, then moves into desire, then they have to hit the home run resolution before the rest. So there was an injustice done to women. They took the template of the man as the mama and assumed that the women were like that, but they had to do another research and found out that they were wrong. That the sex cycle of women doesn't start with arousal, it starts from desire. So with a woman doesn't feel it. You have to cultivate it. Very important.
That's right. That's right. You have to cultivate it. Yes.
So please go ahead.
You have to cultivate it. So why they were judging women with the men sex cycle, can you imagine the discrepancy? Can you imagine the disparativeness? Can you imagine everything that was going on? But for the woman, when they understood that a woman needs to desire first, which means you have to do things before the desire comes. The desire doesn't just happen overnight. You have to nurture it, you have to cultivate it, you have to intentionally get involved in it to bring the desire to reality. After the desire, she will now be aroused. This is why during foreplay, the man's stuff is as hard as a rock, because his own is just see something, get aroused. He's not even looking for other things. This other lady wants to get to that point of desiring the man, desiring the intimacy, desiring the sexual exploitation, this sexual exploit that is going to be happening in that process. So if they don't do so, you just wonder, the woman will just be there. And sometimes you see a man is having sex with the woman, it's like she's a cadaver. She just lie there like a dead woman. Just it's not moving, nothing is happening. I said, why are you not moving? Why are you not reciprocating? She's like she's dead. There's no desire. She's just there. So as a result of that, the man will just do his own thing and walk away. Unfortunately, the woman is losing out. So the work the man needs to do now is to bring the wife to a place of desire. And this is where emotional wellness must be cultivated.
Emotional intimacy. Emotional intimacy.
Absolutely. And that emotional intimacy, the way you communicate, the way you respond, the way you talk to her, the way she reacts on things, the way you are there, presently there, the way you show you care, you cherish, you love, the way you allow her to express herself, her to be herself, the way you allow her to open up. And when you open up, you don't judge, you don't criticize, you don't blame, you don't put her down, you don't allow her to be herself. When those things are taken out of the way and you make her feel like a queen, wow.
Chinda, from a woman's perspective, part of emotional intimacy is what I've had to practice, is practice prioritizing your spouse throughout the day. Because my husband is very proactive about sending text messages. I got used to receiving them. So every day I would just wait for it. But I started saying, why can't I initiate them? and I'll just answer, thank you so much, my love. No, I decided, you know what, I will treat my response to my husband's text messages forthwith as if I was writing a classic Instagram post. After all, I'm a creative person. So I put some thought, some weight into the daily responding of his text. So instead of thank you so much, my love, I'm like, my goodness, the man God gave me, the one anointed to nurture me, Jesus Christ. I started crafting, and I made sure that I won't write anything less than 3 lines. Then I started doing videos too, because by the time my husband gets home, I get home first, shower, and most times he leaves before me, so he doesn't ever see me dressed. So I realized that I could do fun videos. Hey, this is your sexy bride looking like a snack. I'm representing God well. I'm representing you well. Look at my fine. Can you see? Hey, and I'll be carrying you in my spirit. I'm going to be praying for you. I just wanted you to know what a fine 13-year-old bride you have. 13-year married bride you have. And just that energetic, keep the energy. So part of emotional intimacy is, in a sense, filling yourselves during the day, stoking yourself, connecting, with the agape, connecting with the filio. And I've had to choose myself, because my husband is such a secure man that sometimes I default for not telling him things first. Chinda has been my friend for 5 years. Chinda, when did you get to speak with my husband for the first time?
Today.
Because I said to myself, for some reason, my husband is there. We are talking all the time. So we assumed he knew. And he knows Chinda. He's a secure man. He's not jealous. He knows. I said to myself, no, I have to course correct this before intimacy. Because part of emotional intimacy from a woman's standpoint is to train yourself, or rather retrain yourself, if you're like me, to make sure that before I share something with my best friend, who is my twin sister, I've shared it with my husband. So that's part of emotional intimacy, to take back do you know what worship is? Prioritized intimacy. So to get back that he does not mind does not mean that I should not mind how I mind it. My husband doesn't mind. Those things don't matter to him. One of the days now, early on in our marriage, I tried to kneel down to say, what is this? Like, he was embarrassed. I've never heard the word submission in this home. But that does not mean that these things are not necessary. So part of intimacy, making sure you prioritize them in affection, in conversation, in sharing things, and you go out of your way to initiate chit-chat conversation. He may not be that kind of person. Just because they are not making a demand does not mean you cannot provide supply. Please go ahead, Chinda.
That's right. Absolutely. And it just on that view as well, you see, we're talking about connection. Because all these things, emotional connection, emotional wellness, emotional closeness, these things enhance sexual intimacy. The question now is this: how do you provide emotional connection and emotional wellness within your relationship on a daily basis? Daily, regularly. You talked about text message, you talk about discussion. Now, in my own relationship here, and I always say this thing, there's what we call the Garden of Eden's day. It's not this Eden, like, you know what I mean?
The naked day, the naked and not ashamed day. The naked and not ashamed day.
Right? It's non-ashamed day. Now, when the kids go out and we are home by ourselves, this day we don't wear anything. We're just like the Garden of Eden. Now, because sometimes I work from home, I don't have to put on my camera. So I'm working, but I'm not wearing anything, right? And then I'm downstairs. I go to our office, say, hi, Eden. How you doing? Did you play with the kangaroos today? Did you see the elephant? Oh my God, this garden is so beautiful. And then we go downstairs, we eat together naked. Before the kids come back, we'll be naked. Now tell me, that is so powerful. Seeing ourselves the way God has created us before the whole thing fell, and we have that engagement to connect with each other on that level. Now, can you imagine doing that without being close, without being open, without being transparent? And then also, we ensure that at least once a week we must shower together, no matter what. You know what happened in the shower? There's a lot of things to explore there, right? There's a lot of things to do there. I mean, there's breasts to suck in the shower, and it's a beautiful, rain is falling, and the shower is, you are utilizing the opportunity to be close to each other. And then also try weekly massage. It takes like 10, 15, 20 minutes, right? Just lie down, massage each other. It's still part of intimacy, but you've been intentional, creating all these little spot. You pass yourself in the house, no touch, no nothing. Everybody just focusing, going like this, go as if you are trained. You just go train. No connection at all. Why didn't you touch? Why didn't you hug? The woman is in the kitchen, you go at the back, kissing the neck. All this little affection, holding their hands, going out, providing something, supporting, making tea for each other, whatever is convenient for you guys. Creating date night, whether at home or outside. It doesn't matter how busy you are. You can create certain things. Just little touch points.
Little touch points. The great thing about what you're saying is that it will be different from one marriage to another. For instance, you said shower. Some people, they don't shower, they do bath with buckets. The point is, within the construct of your marriage, if you really desire to up-level your intimacy under God, God is not a boring God.
That's right.
Look at creation will teach you that God has a kaleidoscope of creativity. Every marriage has a fighting chance to survive. Every marriage has a fighting chance to be excitable. So he's on his Garden of Eden day because he works from home. So those things exist. Everybody just make an effort to get out of the funk that you are used to. Make an effort to get out of the redeem and your routine and who you think you are and how you were raised and just explore. It's giving yourself permission to explore. Giving yourself permission to explore. Mine is not a Garden of Eden day because my children are investigators. You can be doing and one person will just walk and start clapping. So we do it a little differently, but we do it nonetheless. I'm the one that we roll over mistakenly every day. I roll over mistakenly and hit my husband. I started even the line. My husband thinks I cannot sleep until he cuddles me, Anambra girl. I can't sleep. Don't tell him. But I've created a need, not neediness, a need. You know what I call him? Part of my pet name for him is my duvet. Yeah, my duvet. You know, baby, if you cover me, I can sleep. Some of us women were too strong. Be strong, but not like that. Your strength is needed in the marketplace. It's not on the bed. You be strong. So I told my husband, you're my duvet. So I must sleep in a way where my backside is positioned to his groin. That's a given. Is a given. So that's my Garden of Eden. That's our garden. Then I will take his hand and put there every single day, whether there's action or not. Find your own Eden rhythm, something that communicates on a daily basis that I see you, you belong to me, I love you. Sometimes I say my husband, who is the owner of you? You know, I love Yoruba people. There's Olowo Orimi. It's such a powerful way, like the owner of my head. Now, it's not treating the person as a possession. It's such a dignified way that both of us say, your body belongs to me. Many times I'm with my husband, I said, there's nobody I want to want. You are the one I choose to choose and I want to want. You are the one that I love, to comfort to. So find a way to find your own Eden. That's my point. It may look a little different from Chinda's, but I like their idea. I like the fact that both of you can be naked and stackable and another. I like the fact that the women, you can sneak up on him when he's showering and just go there and do your thing. I like the fact that I set trap. Oh, yes. There's a ministry of learn from Delilah and Bathsheba. Just sometimes you parade balcony, not the balcony, your balcony of your room, naked, so that the King David can see you, So my point is, it may look a little different, but find the reading. Me, I'm very good with articulating verbally what my husband is, and I serenade him. Maybe it's not your thing, but I think everybody has something to say. We've become a little, not lazy, but many of us have just stopped creative rest. We don't see old things with new eyes. That man that you're treating anyhow, another woman, that woman you're treating anyhow, ask God to give you a fresh revelation of the gift of God in your spouse, in your home. And let me add another thing that is a turn on for women, spiritual power. That's why we're on every call. Your wife is on every call. I don't want to call their name. She's on this call, the one in 7 a.m. every morning. She's on the other one on Sunday, 4 o'clock. They are drawn to spiritual power. So hear me, man, with all the love and reverence in my heart. If you are not taking spiritual leadership, you are missing 40% of free orgasm. Oh, yes. We get turned on by spiritual power. I don't care if your prayer is twinkle, twinkle, little star. Just lead. Oh, Lord. That's why your wife is drawn to every prayer ministry. They're on 5 prayer calls. They are not drawn to the men. They are drawn to spiritual leadership. So if you are the man in the house and you are not leading, we don't even want expert leaders. We just want consistent leaders. Oh, yes. Anytime my husband lays his hands on me, immediately he's laying his hand. Me, I'm laying down. He's laying hand. I'm looking how to reward him. There's something. I'm a man, Chinda. I'm not a bad girl, but when he's praying and he's praying, he's praying immediately.
It's true.
Yes. And
it's
when
true.
he finishes praying, yes, he's grabbing my hand. I'm grabbing some other things. Yes.
Absolutely.
When we are begging you to lead spiritually, it's also because it's great for the kids to see a model and a mandate. When we see you cry during cry during worship, my father was such a strong man, but he cried during worship. There's nothing like a man surrender to God. When you are saying, man, no, we don't want alpha male. We want alphas that are submitted. We want males that are submitted to the alpha and omega. So I want to challenge you. If maybe the 5% that are not currently leading spiritually and you're wondering, you think that, going to church, being inspired to lead, to open your Bible, there's nothing as sexy as a man who is opening his Bible. There's nothing that turns on when a man is broken under prayer, even when there's a problem. When you hear a man praying for you, like you're in a funk, in a marriage, you're in a season, and he's saying, God, I bless you for my wife. I bless you for my wife. And let me switch back to women before I think we may have a run out of time, but I don't know what's going on. Anyway, and for women, please take the simple TTT principle for communication. You see, this is Eden, naturally, passionately, because I'm an anointed teacher. But with my husband, this is not how I talk. TTT, the timing of every conversation. Everything must not be said every time. Everything must not be addressed every time. Women, we like to address them, and we want to talk. We want to talk about every single thing. Let the man rest. There are days you just leave him alone. So if you master the timing of conversation, you will reduce potentially 50% of the conflict. And so you say, how did we enter conflict? Chinda was talking about body. Yes, because if you don't reduce conflict, you will always interrupt intimacy. Now you see where I'm going. We don't want the high intimacy on Monday, then conflict. While we will have conflict, one of the skills that will allow you to quickly navigate through conflict and get back to your intimacy is to master the art of communication. Every woman I coach, I tell them, go and study Abigail. Abigail prevented a genocide, a mass murder by open mouth. This woman needs to be studied. I teach a code in my communication training called the Code of Honor. It's the MUG. The mastery of the timing and the communication. You understanding honor and the generosity of our spirit. David was coming to ruin and waste her family and waste all her neighbor. And this woman did three things. She understood honor. She understood timing. She understood the generosity of spirit, and she knew how to arrange her mouth. She didn't talk anyhow. She got down from the horse, meaning she doubled in front of David. How do you stop a man who was already given an instruction to kill your family? By just how you see it. The Bible said how forcible are right words. She came down low. This was a wealthy woman. Abigail was known to be wealthy. And she started appealing to David like, Nabal will desecrate you. Nabal is not the type of person you should bother. You are the king. You are righteous. You kill for a cause. You don't kill anyhow. I started prophesying to Nabal, to David. King David started telling the king of his picture. Many of us in conflict, all that matters to us is that time. No, you must think of the now and the next. Sometimes you sacrifice the now to secure the next. Yes. I shared with a sister here, Pastor Bethel, when I was coming to Manifold, because of how crazy the airports were, they were looking for people to forfeit their flights and miss their flights. And none of us took that bait because I had to be Manifold. And that day, so my husband spent longer time dropping me. Something that should have been 15 minutes ended up being 1 hour, and he missed a work meeting. He missed a work meeting and he was upset. That was not the time to put it to him. I let him rain on me. And when he was angry, just vented, I just said to him, anything you give me now, I will take. Simple. The timing was wrong. This man had missed a work meeting. That's not the time to say, but United. No, I took it timing. Then later, when everything had calmed down, when I was on the plane, remember TTT, timing, tenderness, and tone. I called him and it wasn't the teaching tone. It wasn't the passionate tone. I just said, my love, you know that I'm committed to your work. and I would ordinarily not make you miss. And I explained. The explanation was not necessary at that time. The timing was wrong. So I found the right timing and set the tone. Then I also put tenderness. I say this for conflict resolution, your communication must go 3 tones less. Anytime there's heated, tone down. Tone down. I said, if you change your tone, you will increase the peace. So I just said it, this is part of the way to increase emotional intimacy. And I know we really have to run. So Chinda, I will let you tie this up maybe in 1 or 2 minutes so we can take questions.
Just to say, I mean, it's really important. Just before getting to that conflict resolution, I wanted to just say something about, especially the couples, how they present themselves to each other. Sometimes the ladies, they've been very busy. So and you want to come and have intimacy, or the husband is coming close. Some of them sometimes they smell like beans, like they smell like okra soup and stuff, and that can be that can make somebody uncomfortable to come close. And some of the men as well, sometimes they, instead of taking a shower, they say they want it dirty. They are smelling, their armpits is smelling, and the heat is everywhere. So they come back from work, you can see the whole thing is not just comfortable. And some have some strong body odor, and there's nothing wrong you getting something, to put around you just to tantalize the whole environment. A man will walk into a room, you'll be thinking that, the end of the world, like, God have destroyed the earth, because the whole place is shaking with smell. And then sometimes the ladies as well, like I said, it's good that you are walking, but when a woman is now supposed to smell inviting, smell enjoyable, she's not smelling like every time egusi soup, her jacket is egusi soup, okra soup, she's smelling beans, 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 beans. I'm telling you, it's very hard. So you don't know, are you having sex with beans? Are you having sex with okra soup? What are you even having sex with? So it's very difficult. So ladies, please, I want to encourage you. I know when you go out, you look amazing, you do all your look, everything. But by the time you go at home, so women just abandon themselves. They don't even look. You look at a woman, you're wondering, is she a boy, girl, grandfather? Is it our auntie that resurrected? You don't even understand. No sexiness, no attraction.
Our wigs are not helping. Underwear should be washed often, and the wigs are not helping. And there are some nightgown that we need to discard. I just wanted to put it out there.
Exactly. So if you're here and some of the ladies, maybe the underwear is too old. The underwear is even saying, I shouldn't be here any longer. I should have gone out of this family. And they are still wearing it. The thing is changed color, green, blue, white. It's terrible. Some of the bra is supposed to welcome the man into their life. But the bra is tired. The bra is tired. The bra need to go.
And Chinda, why are we still wearing Adieu Papa t-shirt that they gave souvenir during your great-grandfather's funeral? Adieu Papa.
Okay, well, so see, if it doesn't matter whether they are, because I believe some bra makes the breast cry. So see, I don't know. Some breasts are not very happy with some bras, because they tight them, they make some of them is crying, they press them, and the breast is speaking out, allow me to breathe, allow me to breathe, allow me to be myself. And the woman want to be herself, but the breast is not herself. And some of the men, I want to encourage you, men, please, this is really, really important. Some women breasts are crying for help because they are not being fully utilized. Some breasts are just there. A man have a breast. The children have grown. Nobody is talking it again.
Write this thought, then finish it in 2 minutes, because I really wanted, I wanted to talk about the breast, but it didn't come out well from me. So men listen to men. So please talk about our breasts. Thank you. And we can wrap it up in 2 minutes.
Men, take questions. This is really, really important. Okay. When a woman breast is not fully utilized, how can that breast now satisfy you? The Bible says in Proverbs, let her breast satisfy you. A breast cannot satisfy you that you're not touching, you're not holding, you're not sucking. And who owns the nipple? The nipple is for us. Children have, they're just temporary time that children have nipples. Nipples is for us. Who is going to suck it? Is it the devil? Jesus Christ won't suck it. No matter how these women pray and they are prophetess, they are speaking in tongues, Christ don't suck breast. It's we that suck breast. So it's very, very important that we take advantage of what the Lord has given to us and make sure that these breasts will stop crying. So women breasts, if they can talk to you, they have been neglected, they have been forsaken, they left them by themselves, they are all there, and nobody is doing anything to this breast. Please, I want to beg all men, let's go back to breast. Let's go back to breast. It's a very, very important stuff. Don't lose out on these things, because when these people, some breasts are wasting.
Breast lives matter. Breast lives matter. But seriously, do you know who found that the lump that I had cancer? You know, I told you.
Some breasts are wasting.
Chinda, do you know who found that I had cancer in 2017? The lump that I could have missed. It was my husband. He knew the texture of the breast and he knew what the normal was. So when he found the lump, he was the one that said, baby, what is this? So breast lives matter. And women, let's get creative. And I'm going to pass to the question now. Let's get creative. When I came back from the ordination, the manifold ordination, I went to my husband that day and said, baby, have you ever slept with me before? He looked surprised because he's a straight and narrow kind of guy. And he was like, of course. I said, no, you've never slept with the pastor. Baby, you've never slept with a pastor. I want to give you an opportunity to sleep with a pastor. Like, you've never made love to a pastor. So, baby, this ordination becomes your ministration. Women, get creative, play. Your husband is your friend. So when I came, I didn't, everybody just roll eyes small. I said, you've never slept with a pastor. I have an anointing today. And I delivered. I delivered. I gave him. And next time, if they say go to Manifold, he will buy the ticket for me, because now he associates Manifold with good things.
That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And not only that, you've never slept with a pastor, was after I accorded him the honor. So women, I'm teaching you something. Please listen. And Pastor Busara, please, you can come, you ask the questions. I didn't post about my ordination until I told my husband about it. You know why? Because the ordination was not planned. So I didn't want him to think that this big thing that people are, it mattered to me that the Olorimi understood what was going on, and I couldn't articulate it well over the phone. So everyone who honored me waited until I came. Even NHS said we will not talk about it until. So I came and I explained what happened. I said, my love, this was a long time coming, but we didn't plan. I walked into this ordination and I let him see the video and play the part so that he sees. So it's not that, so you went, how can you say you don't know? I explained everything. Let me tell you, I showed him every single thing that Manifold gave me. Listen, I said I showed him every single thing that Manifold gave me. In addition to that, and I named everything so that he associates. That's why he loves, when I say I'm traveling, he will say, take the time you need. Then you know what I did? Women, listen. See, you can rally a troop, and the beginning of the person, your husband is your troop. Rally him. I took this certificate and said, my love of my life, my nurturer, ordination has come to our home. I didn't say I am ordained. Oh Lord, who needs to get this? I say ordination has come to our home. My love, priesthood has come to our home. And I presented the certificate to him. And I said, my love, you are very organized. I want you to keep it as my priest. I say you are the priest of this priest. That's not all. Then I took this sash, the lapel that was the whatever that I had sent, and I placed it on my husband and kissed his head. I said, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for enabling me to serve God without restraint. And my husband, funny enough, wore that thing on his head for the rest of the day. Before I said, I'm still wearing this, I wanted to give you, but I said, no, my love, keep it. You know that place you keep our passports and our safe. Suddenly, when we were praying, my love husband said, Father, I thank you for her ordainment. Not even ordination. He changed it for ordainment and anointment every day now. For ordainment and anointment. And I was very tired that day. But I said, either you must deliver. Because I want him to, in coaching, integrative coaching is called anchoring. So you anchor a moment so that anytime he thinks about that moment, it elicits a different emotion. So that moment I said, God, give me grace. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. But I waited, I went and showered, and sometimes you ask God for grace. It's not every time that it is by humans. I say, God, I need grace. I want to minister to this man for keeping the family. So that day I entrap him. I entrap him in the night. I entrap him, and God is a helper. There's lubricant. I did not bother wearing clothes. I just went there and said, you've never slept with a pastor before. I entrapped him and ministered to him that night. Now, if he thinks of Manifold, he's thinking about honor, the gifts that I deferred to him. I explained the ordination. He's thinking about how I said, the priest over this priest. Women, we got to learn how to not only honor the person that is our spouse, but the office of the. We don't have time for this, maybe. There's a person, that's the man, hey, Chinda. There is an office. The office of the priesthood, whether the man is a fool, that's not your problem. You honor the office. You honor the office. Anyway, let me leave there. Let's, Pastor Busayo, if you leave me and Chinda, let's.
I figured that it would be a terrible mistake to just, I mean, we should have just given you like 4 hours just so that we can get into this good stuff. Please, I want the comment section to blow up with appreciation. Even before we go to the questions, please celebrate and honor Coach Eden, Coach Chinda. Please, ladies and gentlemen, they have poured out of themselves to us tonight, and I want us to really, 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 I wish I could ask everybody to unmute and just, but it's going to be chaotic. Please, in the comment section, let them see that you value all that you've talked about in the last almost 2 hours. We've been on this call for over 2 hours, and it's just been value packed. Thank you so much, Coach Eden. Now that, I mean, your ordination is public now, so thank you so much, Pastor Eden. And Chinda, thank you so much. We honor and celebrate you. We have a couple of questions, and this is how it's going to run. I'm going to close the question room shortly because I'm afraid we might not be able to take all the questions that we have. But I want to give room to people who might want to ask their questions here on the call. I know there are people who might, because we put up the link for people who might want to ask anonymous questions because of the sensitivity of those questions. But if you feel like your question can benefit a whole lot of people on the call and you just want to ask your question, please raise your hand, use the hand raising function, and then I will ask you to unmute so you can ask your question right away. I will give like 30 seconds if I don't get any hands raised in 30 seconds, and then I will move to the virtual room for the questions. Anybody? Okay, maybe some people will get ideas or get creative when I start asking the questions. I have this one, and I would like to start here. It says, when you do most of these things being taught here as a man, but your wife rarely returns the energy, what do you do? So we've learned a lot, and you're putting it into practice, and you don't get the same energy from your wife. What then should you do at this point?
I would like Chinda to answer, because Chinda's wife, both of them sheltered lives, deeper life, and I hear that she's my mentor when it comes to orgasm. I don't know how she orgasms like 3 times in. I'm not even there yet. However, I think if she needs a session with me, send that to like an integrative coach who understands women. Sometimes it's a mind block. I had a woman of God who was married for 16 years. 16 years. Then when we Speak for Gold, that community, she orgasmed for the first time. When the coaching was even not about intimacy, it was regular coaching, but we started unpacking things, and we unpacked that her ex-boyfriend was still a model in her heart. So when we removed that block, so she had a longing for what could have been. You see, the pain of regret is worse than the pain of discomfort. So she was supposed to wait for this guy who was going abroad, and she met her husband because she thought the guy was not going to come back, and she married this lovely pastor, right? But the guy went abroad and came back, so she always felt like, what if I didn't? So unknown to her, she wasn't in adultery, but there was emotional adultery. There was emotional adultery. So her mind and her longing. So what happened when we dealt with it in coaching, recognizing it, calling it out, and allowing her to release that man? You can't be with somebody and be wishing you were with somebody else. You can't be with somebody. Your present is your present. Oh Lord, the present is the present from God. You can't be with somebody and be wishing, I wanted a 6-foot guy. I'm a tall guy kind of person. But I didn't marry Eliab. I married David, and I have to love David. I can't be with David and be saying, child, I wish you were Eliab. No, I compromised in a sense on that list, because even though that list was the list, it doesn't have eternal value. It's not a fruit of the spirit. I had everything I wanted. So I cannot be with my husband and be treating him as if you are not even tall. I see a lot of women do that. I wanted to marry a teacher and I'm just managing this man. You can't, that energy cannot happen. So when we dealt with it in coaching, she went with her husband, and for the first time, unknown to him, she was there, present, mental, physical, and she orgasmed. She orgasmed so much, her body shook and riveted the bed, that the husband knew that every other orgasm was fake. The husband literally saw a wife he had never witnessed and said, "What is this?" And she confessed. So what have you been doing? I've just been... So my point is, sometimes we don't have a full acceptance of the present that is present, and we are not connecting. So that's when a neutral intervention, again, it's not your in-laws, it's not your outlaws, those ones are not neutral. Thank God for pastors. Many of them are anointed and wise. They are not skilled in sex therapy. They're also not skilled in trauma. That's why I advocate for every leader. I want a time where every minister leader will be trauma informed. You don't have to be a coach, but be trauma informed, because some of us can recognize trauma. We know when trauma speaks. Trauma leaves clues, but if you're not trained, you won't know. So I think at that point for her begin from an honest conversation. What does intimacy mean to you? Number one, what will make you feel the most loved if we are making love? You know, how do you want me to serve you in intimacy? Ask them. You might be doing everything right, and she might have a different idea. So engage in an honest conversation. If you were to have the best intimacy, walk me through what that day would be. You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised. So start by honest questions, not why are you not returning the energy. No, it must not be a provocative ask and say, "My love, baby," or whatever you call yourself, or munchkin, whatever, donut, whatever you call yourself, and just say, assuming that you had the best sex experience of your life in our marriage, what would that be? Let her paint a picture of what she thinks. She will be like you, she will start telling you, and some of the things you start comparing notes, right? That I think I've done, yeah.
Thank you, Coach.
So that's very good.
What did I got to that?
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead, sir.
Okay, all right, just quickly. So everything Ejene has said is perfect, right? Just to add as well is, I mean, if you think about this, women on its own, we've talked about a lot of things here, and you want to do this. If she's not responding back to you, then there's a lot of things that may have happened or is happening to her. She's possibly emotionally disconnected. I mean, you are doing everything thinking that something is happening. There could be some underlying stuff that she needs to address. Okay. So for me, I would say, okay, honey, is there anything that I have done? Is there anything that has happened that is making you not to welcome this new change, not to welcome this? She might be feeling unheard, unappreciated. She might be feeling distant, or something is happening to her that you guys need to talk about. And this is an opportunity for you to just listen. No defensiveness. Don't begin to lecture her. Don't begin to correct. Don't blame. Don't say, "Oh, this or that." You are the one that is asking question. Allow her to be herself and let her fully unburden and express herself. What you need to do is just be patient and be understanding from her own perspective. This is where emotional intelligence will come. You need empathy now. Just put yourself in her shoe. You are trying to make her to be motivated towards the new change or towards the new action, but she doesn't have the inner drive. She's not inspired. She doesn't want to get involved, but you are thinking, why is she not doing this? So ask a genuine question and wait for the answer. Don't presume the answer. While she's talking, zip up and just listen. If you want to respond back, only respond to validate what she's saying. Okay, did you say that? What happened? Or if I can hear you correctly, the way I said that, you felt wounded. Oh wow. Okay. Don't answer. Don't provide solution. Validate the way she's feeling. That is powerful. Sometimes while you are saying that, she was just feel like there's a lot in her head. While you're thinking of doing this, she's thinking about cooking. She's thinking about she's going to wash the clothes. She's going to pick the kids. She's going to do this. She have her work. She have this. She have to support her mother. This and that. Oh my goodness me. The mental load is insane. And you have been in that house. There are certain specific things she wants you to support on, but you've not been very proactive about it. Every time she always tell you, wash plates, help me there, do grocery. You can't even initiate and see, why is this woman not responding? Why is she acting like this? Maybe she've asked you to do a particular thing, or even read a book, or you guys discuss something about your parenting, about your boy, about your girl, about something that is bothering her mind. But you just think, well, it's not important. And now you want her to begin to flow into this chain. She's not going to do that. No matter how you pray and fast, you got to understand what is going on here. Why is she acting like this? Sometimes she might even feel pressured. You pressure. You want her to put her leg in heaven and the other leg in the moon. And then you want her to put her back in Lagos and her buttocks in London. And she's asking you that she's going to break. And all these demands, she's afraid. She's worried what you're going to start, because the last time she allowed you to explore, you almost broke her spinal cord. Her legs is paining her. She have to go and take ibuprofen for the pain. No. She will run away from you. So why is it that she will not be part of this? Is she feeling unappreciated in your home? Is she feeling that you're not recognizing, you're not telling her, I love you a lot, you are not supporting her? She's not feeling that her dream valid for you. It's all about you, it's all about you, it's all about you, it's all about you.
And there might be lingering resentments. There might be lingering resentment. A psychologist says resentment creates resistance, and resistance affects the physiology. So very important.
So, absolutely. And sometimes we also do the science said when a woman gives birth, her sexual drive drops drastically. So find out, is it due pregnancy? Is it because of menopause? Right? Is it postpartum, whatever is going on in her life? Is there some hormonal challenges? Is she afraid of certain things? What is it that is making her? Because this is a welcome idea. But you begin to think, have you said something to her that is really, really hurting her and she have not opened up? Or there was a negative experience that she really want to talk to you about, but you have not listened. Or there's something really big, a decision that you took, and she wasn't in support of that decision, and the thing has caused financial problem, it has caused health problem, issues here and there. You guys are stuck. There is problem all the time because of that decision. And when she came to you, she said, please, I'm the head of the family. What is your problem? Just get on with it. No, she's not going to get on with it. And now you want a change? Ask why. There's a technique called 5 whys. Why and why and why and why and why and why. We are going to the root cause of the problem. Real root cause. You might be doing your own thing and you're wondering, she's not reciprocating, she's not listening, she's not hearing. Don't do that. Ensure you ask a lot of why. When she's in that emotional place, when you have listened to her, you've communicated, you've dealt with your resentment, your problems, your issues. My brother, I am telling you, even if that woman is a devil, the devil will say, you know what, you've done so much. Can we talk about, I know I'm a devil, let's find a way forward. Because women will feel secured, validated, heard, supported, emotionally present, emotionally fed. Whatever you bring, she will listen. But when all these things are happening, you can't begin to argue, blaming, bringing things in the past, calling her all kind of stuff, and then at the end of the day, something that's supposed to be cordial conversation, for you to just have listening ear, no solution given, no advice given. Just listen, understand. If you want to talk, and she say, please, I don't want lecture. Don't coach me. Do you understand? Okay, that's all she wants at this time. My brother, don't go solutionizing, don't go giving advice. Just go and meditate on what she has said to you, then come back again. By the time you do this, you will find out why the woman is acting like this. Because what we're talking about here is not just opening her vulva and putting your mouth and putting your penis, touching clitoris here and there, sucking. You know, you can suck her and she's angry with you. You can touch her and say, she will say, don't you near me again. Because there are things that is making the vulva to even be upset with you. So don't do that. Settle things, and you will see how everything will become interesting when you guys move forward.
Wow, wow, this is so profound. Thank you so much, sir and man. I'll jump right to the next question for the sake of time. And I also think this is a very important question. This one says, how do you sexually satisfy your partner as a pregnant woman?
Okay, let me just say that I'll allow you them. Right. See, you can also, this is physiology, right? Okay. Part of having sex during pregnancy, even till the day you give birth, it helps even with your ability to deliver safely. Now, you need to understand that it's also part of exercising the abdominal region, right? Exercising the pelvic floor. That hand, obviously, you will not turn her belly. You won't turn her stomach down. That's wickedness. You understand? You want to kill the child before you even deliver the child. So you need to be sensitive about that. And then at the same time, it has to be slow. You can't rush her. So you need to communicate. At this time, this woman is the king. She's in charge. Don't come and begin to say you will do whatever, because think about it. She's having a human being. It's a lot of work already. She will feel tired, all the hormone stuff, everything is happening. But if you treat her well and you give her proper understanding, you communicate better. Don't expect her to be having sex with you 5 times a day. I don't understand. When she's even trying to say how to carry the stomach. So as she's preparing to give birth, yes, that will happen. But open communication. Listen to her, listen to her body language, listen to her expression, listen to how she give, listen to what she's happening to her. My brother, with that steadily, you'll be able to find a way there, and you'll be able to enjoy your wife. But don't do anything that is going to hurt her. Don't do anything that is going to trigger her into another place where she'll feel very, very uncomfortable, because that can make her very traumatized if she's giving birth. But it's good to have sexual intercourse, but you need to speak to her very lovely.
So I'm going to approach this. I'm assuming I love I'm the woman, for example, at least Chinda has never been physically pregnant, even though so I've had 2 pregnancies and 3 kids, including multiple pregnancies. So I've been pregnant for twins. So if the woman is feeling, if I'm assuming, if this question, hypothetically speaking, is from the woman, then I'll need to speak to both the woman and the man. If the woman is already feeling, how can I sexually satisfy my husband? I'm pregnant. That means that someone is pressuring the other. Did you get what I said? That means there's pressure somewhere. If her most pregnant thought is not how can I, navigate pregnancy, how can I be healthy, is about how to start. That means that somebody is leaving clues that they are unsatisfied, and that's an emotional burden to put on a pregnant woman. That I would want you people to open communication. Intimacy should not come from a guilt place. One of the things I'm most grateful to God about with my husband is I never had to choose my health. I never had to choose intimacy over my health. That's what I mean. Like I know that he suffered when I was sick, when I had cancer 2 times. Because when you're in chemotherapy, it's not sex you're thinking about. There's no libido. You're not even a human being at that point. You're fighting for your life. This man received grace from God, something that, and nobody writes a letter and says to you, oh, well, your wife's going to have cancer, so you're not going to be having sex. No, there were seasons where I couldn't be a wife. I couldn't be intimate. And that's where it's very important that you realize that the eros, the erotic love that is part of the beauty of a marriage between a man and a woman, should be anchored on agape and philia and storge. If she cannot be the lover, she can be your sister, girl. If she cannot be the lover in a season, it's not perpetual. Pregnancy is not a 10-year contract. Pregnancy is 10 months max. So you can have sprinklings of intimacy. And that's where self-government and submission to God from both spouses should, let's not be treating ourselves as if, we are sex toys. Your wife or your husband is not a sex toy. There's a government of soul, that we must have. When people travel, you hold yourself. Ask God for strength. He's your helper. My husband stayed without sex for multiple months. When I was sick, he had to channel agape. Here to channel errors, here to channel failure. In that moment, the most important thing is that this woman will live. While pregnancy is not that dramatic, that's the same mindset you should have. When you see a spouse suffering in a season or stretched in a season, either by pregnancy or by grief, we can't be running around like area boys and area girls, guilting each other, right? There are certain things that make intimacy a little distorted, and that's where I'm pleading for men to have grace for seasons. It's a season. It's not a lifetime. I wanted to put that because sometimes we unconsciously, I advocate for cancer survivors. When you have cancer, especially breast cancer, depending on where you had your treatment, your body changes, and that's true. Some people have a double mastectomy. I had a segmented mastectomy, meaning both some parts of my two boobies were taken out and they reconstructed it. So meaning my body is a little different. I'm still beautiful and sexy. But the point is that what if you were married to somebody that doesn't have a boob? What would you do? You have to find other ways, right, of exploring intimacy. I'm going there because these are very important. When we took our vows, we didn't lie. When we took our vows, we didn't lie. Part of those vows is that there are situations that might force caregiving on top of us. So I'm asking that you remember that there are 4 quadrants of love, even in a marriage. There's agape. That's the unconditional love of God that you don't have to like it to love it. Then there's phileo, that you don't have to love it to like it. Then there's storge, that because you are connected to it, you must find grace in your heart and affection for it. If we have this, then that will feed the errors. You will realize that you will not be demanding for intimacy during a season from a place of compulsive guilting. Then from the woman, please, sometimes it's a cultural block. It's fear, taboo. Grandmother told you that if you make love, the baby will die. You know those. So if that's the case, remove it from your mind. Still feel yourself, even with the protruding body, you are still sexy. Give yourself, it's part of you releasing. Body image distorts intimacy. If you don't feel beautiful, you won't show up like that. So know that you are beautiful. Your body is changing, but you're still beautiful. Ask your husband what he wants to do, how he likes to touch you. Or if you're having breast engorgement because you are big, you know, sometimes the breasts are hard and painful. Communicate. Find ways to satisfy each other. Maybe for you, riding on you may not be what you want. Touching might be an option. Find the option within the construct of what is acceptable between both of you. But never should there be condemnation. So I spoke to the man and spoke to the woman. And also, more importantly, always consult with your doctor. There are doctors that will say for a certain kind of pregnancy, based on your history, do not have for a certain time. Especially people that have ruptured membrane. They have to hang their legs. So that's not a one-size-fits-all. Consult with your doctor. I think we've addressed it enough.
Thank you so much for that. So this is how I want us to run, because I want us to be able to finish in maybe 5-10 minutes. 5-6 minutes by 11:35. I want us to be able to wrap up. So we'll just touch on the salient point for each of the questions. I won't even be able to take all the questions. If you check in the room chat, you'll see the links, social media links for Coach Eden, for Coach Shinda as well. Please follow them on social media. They have amazing programs and packages that you can learn and benefit from. Please make sure you do that. I'll just go straight into the next question. This one says, my husband is very judgmental. I can't tell him about my abuse. I have never enjoyed sex. It doesn't even compliment me or help with chores. Kindly advise. What would you say to this person in 90 seconds?
That men listen to men, so talk to the man.
Is the man?
No, it's a woman asking the question.
Oh.
God, I just wish.
It says her husband is very judgmental and she can't tell him about it.
I just wish we can have a session with the husband and wife. I mean, me and Chinda can give them a session for free. Normally, our sessions are loaded dollars and pounds, but if these two people don't mind,
very serious for the sake of this.
I'm serious. We are giving this. Yes. Wow. I don't mind getting on a call with both of them. No judgment. I do actually marriage mediation. I help couples who can't talk to themselves or talk about money or sex to broker career. And we have rules. I can add and then we can give, because it matters to me. There are marriages that are savable. These are part of it. So if they are ready, Chinda and Chinda, you will do it with me, right? We will
right.
give you, at least we can give a 90-minute session for them. Then they can take their recommend resources.
Yes.
Oh,
because
so
the reason
much.
is that there's a lot underneath this.
Too much. That's why I didn't want to make assumptions. Yes.
Yes, there's
because by the
so
time I
much
talk to the husband will tell me
Yeah.
about what she did that created that resentment. Many times.
That's right.
It's not not be who they call police 9 day, sometimes they call police come, you now say the other person get felony. It happens all the times. I've had this, I had a woman that said, my husband is too secretive, too secretive. Then I talked to the husband said, the day this woman knew my password, she wrecked it. And from, so sometimes I'm not suggesting that this is the case. I'm just saying that the law of cause and effect sometimes is a thing. Yes. Sometimes the husband feels emasculated. Many men feel emasculated. Sometimes the way we do, one day the Holy Spirit told me in 2020, say, 2019, say, Eden, your husband is not your coaching client. He said, your husband, that's the day I retired, the coaching ending the door. I only use coaching here to enhance things in my marriage. The Holy Spirit said, Eden, your husband is not your coaching client. Stop teaching him. Many of us take and then, no. You are his baby girl. So I would like to talk out to the two people. If they reach out to us, that we just said we are the people you said you want to help. And Chinda and I, we will put on our pastoral hat and do it as pastors, not as coaches.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So let that person, yeah, please.
Yes. So I dropped the link. I dropped the Instagram link for Manifold International Church. If you send a direct message to that link, we'll be able to facilitate this so that it doesn't get muddled up. So please, send a direct message to Manifold International Church on Instagram, and then we'll take it from there. Moving swiftly along to the next question, and this person says, there's some of the questions that I won't bother to go into because they've been answered. How do I deal with thoughts of my husband having sex with an ex who is known to both of us while we are being intimate? So we're being intimate, but I'm dealing with thoughts of my husband having sex with his ex, and we both know this ex.
So again, let me, there are certain questions from a coaching perspective. I have to ask questions. Why would the thoughts of your husband having sex with an ex be a thing in your mind? Has your husband ever broken a marital vow? Is there a history of cheating? So there are two types of people. You can have a trustworthy spouse and a spouse who doesn't trust them because the spouse has trust issues. If that is the case, then it's not your husband's problem, it's your problem. So you are the one that has to shut down image formations, imaginations that exalts itself above the knowledge of God. You are the one that has to go through a mental detox by infiltrating yourself with the word of God. I assume that there's you are word deficient, and it's not an insult. It's just a description. If the word of God in your heart, in your spirit, in your mind is high, you'll not be thinking of people. I don't know if my husband has ex. Those things have not bothered me. I can't imagine myself enjoying intimacy and thinking of somebody else. You are inviting a third party into your marriage by having a mental session, a visualization. So in a sense, you're perverting your marriage bed by having a mental threesome. You are bothering by not being there. So I have questions for you, sweetheart. Was trust broken? Did your husband commit what I call the triple A's of marriage covenant disorder? Is there addiction? Is there abuse? Or was there a history of adultery? Now, if there's a history of adultery, that means that yours is a very special case. It's not an impossible case, it's a special case, meaning that we have to be talking about remediation. That means that you have to go through specialized infidelity recovery. So if there was a history of perversion, inordinate affection, or boundary breaking with the ex, then the issue is not about what you're thinking on during intimacy, is that you've not addressed the adultery. So you see? So yes, because the average woman or man does not think about ex during intimacy. Do you get the point? So and we can refer you to resources. Pastor Kingsley and Pastor Mildred have what's that thing they call infidelity recovery programs. I'm not an infidelity recovery specialist, but I've coached women through infidelity recovery by asking select questions. And there was one last year, I won't call her profession. Let me just call she's an engineer, And she had hastily jumped into counseling and said, I never want a divorce. I never want a divorce. I never want a divorce. And jumped into it. Then she got to the point where her anger made her almost take the guy's life one day, almost suffocate the guy. These are believers, suffocate with pillow. So my session with her, a friend had to call an intervention by paying for 4 sessions with her. So she's not the one that came to me. Her friends gathered and said, our friend needs help. Before you can be the victim and become a criminal. Like if somebody commits adultery, you are the victim, then you kill the person, you become a criminal. The law is against you. So our friends had to stage an intervention, and that was where she came to me. So her breakthrough came in session 3. She was resisting from session 1 to session 2 because I asked her, why didn't you consider divorce? I didn't say divorce. Please don't judge my language. And I said, why didn't you consider divorce? The reason is that I don't want to be the one that starts divorce in my house. So she never took time to carry the weight of what her husband had done. Husband that cheated on her, and that adultery resulted in a child. She minimized the impact of that trauma. That's trauma. So I brought her to count the cost and see the weight of the trauma. It was only in session with me that she recognized the weight of the trauma. And she now counted her options. So to live with the impact of the adultery and rebuild, knowing that the version of the marriage I thought I had is no more, it's over. But that doesn't mean that that doesn't mean I can't find another version. This is the medicated, limping, broken. We are not models. We are not the sweet couple. We are people walking through a thing. And it was in this 3rd session I brought the picture of Sarah and Hagar, and forced her to have the legacy mindset around things. And she chose in that moment. I didn't choose for her. She chose in that moment. She chose in that moment to work, that it was better for her to walk through rebuilding than discarding. That was a choice. But the difference between that choice is that it was not a flaky, I don't want to be the first the divorce. And what? No, she had counted the cost and knew. And part of counting the cost, please let me finish in 1 minute. Part of counting the cost was to realize she was bothered about that they were a model marriage. Nobody cares about that. You're no longer a model marriage. Your marriage is your marriage. She was more interested about model marriage, being the first to divorce, and what will people say? No. And she also wanted to, in setting her boundaries, she put the boundaries in such a way that she became the problem. She became the problem, and I had to talk to her frankly. I said, if you will accept this, then you have to accept that this is different. This man is not going to leave this boy, and a baby boy that he had. This boy has a part of your husband. So to tell him not to see the boy, you are creating another man. He will see the boy. African man, he will see the boy. The only thing is that he will see the boy without you. So you are going to have a part of you that is not connected to him. I said, so if you want to decide prayerfully that this is the route you want to go, the line that did it for her, that I said, it was not the disobedience of Abraham that created Ishmael. It was not the disobedience of Abraham that created Ishmael. It was also the resentment of Sarah. In that moment, when Sarah cast out Hagar, she cut a covenant with God. So the person who caused Hagar, was that girl named Hagar? The person who brought Elroy into the picture, a covenant that cannot be unbroken, is Sarah. So I said, imagine that Sarah raised Ishmael in her home. We will not have terrorism. I'm not asking you to accept that. I just had to set the standard for that. If you are accepting that you are rebuild, then you must count the cost to rebuilding. Well, they're still married. I don't know if it's happily. I wanted to say happily, and I said, I don't know. But it appears that they walked around and she has decided that I am no longer a mom of 3 children. I'm a mom of 4. And 1 is the one from the bondwoman. And I won't stop him from being a father to him, because if I stop him from being a father to him, I create another victim from that boy. The boy did not ask for the mess. So I will find grace somewhere. After all, I can help a beggar. So I will just help this boy, not because I'm accepting of his silliness, but because I'm counting the cost. So for this lady, you must go for infidelity recovery.
All right, thank you. The final question for the night, and sincere apologies for pushing the time beyond what we had promised. I know this has been value for everyone's time, including mine. I have no regrets whatsoever, but it's also proper just to apologize for stretching beyond what we promised. So the final question for tonight, before we then, I'll bring up Pastor Gideon to pray for everybody on the call and just to release us tonight. This person says, my husband is 55 years old and he's the best. He's not interested in taking care of himself. He's a doctor and this is affecting our sex life. What can I do? He's 55 years old. He's obese. He's not interested in taking care of himself, and this is affecting their sex life. What can she do?
Investigate. I'll let you in the answer, but let me speak from a woman's perspective. When you see something that was not an initial pattern crop up in your marriage, you want to ask yourself, what brought us to this point? Can we talk for a minute? What brought us to this point? When you see somebody who used to do something, stop doing it, the tendency, the natural response is to attack, and that minimizes the person more, to invalidate, to mock, to nag. That's women, you know what I call pots and pans ministry, to strut. That's the time I want you to pray a prayer. Say, God, show me him. Cause me to see him through your eyes. There was a time that I felt like my husband was off in a season, probably in 2018, after we survived cancer. And I was wanting to be angry with him. And the Holy Spirit in a moment of prayer said to me, if you saw this man the way I saw him, your anger will turn to compassion. So rather than pray like my right, I started praying for his healing. Because the Holy Spirit said, this man's wife had cancer. Because I was the woman in the ring, I didn't see how much he suffered by taking care of me. This man's wife had cancer. In the same year she had cancer, his father died. The Holy Spirit just showed me my husband in that season. This guy laid down 2 parents and watched his wife survive cancer. So compassion welled on. I want you to know that sometimes when people step out of routine and start to self-destruct, whether it's through eating, addiction, it's a trauma response. So investigate sounds like you going to the heart of the matter dispassionately. And I know it's hard, because if he's disengaging and he's becoming self-destruct and he's no longer physically attractive and he's not wanting sex, you feel your needs are not met. But that's the time to, if possible, for a season, leave your need and look at the root of the matter, because the root of the matter normally has a root. Then if you've tried, after looking at the root of the matter, maybe there's lingering resentment, there's trauma, maybe there's actually stress at work, maybe there's fear, maybe there's all kinds of things. Doctors have a hard time, especially if it's a doctor here. They deal with all kinds. So maybe he's binge eating. When my mom died, I've never been a very big person, but when my mom died, I became a size 10. I'm normally size 6 or 8, because I started eating comfort. I was eating for comfort. I was grief eating. So you want to ask yourself, if he's never been like that, what is going on? Now, the second thing, you remember the medical, the person that the friends recommended to me, you can stage an intervention. Now, the goal of the intervention must never be shaming. It must be restorative. Intervention should be disruptive, but restorative, not destructive. Let me put it again, and it's not a soundbite. Intervention must be restorative, disruptive, but not. There are people he listens to, people that he loves, he listens to, he talks to. You see, some friends brought the paralytic man to Jesus. Some friends brought a friend who could have been in jail because her husband cheated on her to me. You can pay for sessions. Look for someone who can reach him if you're struggling to reach him. But I think your greatest goal in the next 1 or 2 months will be to affirm him. I love you. I love you. It's like the tapping therapy. The tapping, what we call tapping, it's something like, even though I have scars, I love and accept myself. Even though you are big and obese. So you will communicate to him, said, I love you. Every version of you, I love. I love you. I'm sold out to you. You are in my past. You are part of my present. You belong to my future. Let me help you. How can I help you? I love you. If you feel loved, you have to be consistent. He needs to know that you're not one of the people that criticizes him. And maybe he may begin to open up, but see if you can intervention, find someone who can reach him. Do you understand? There are many ways to do that. So anyway.
Right. So if
Yes,
I just
please.
yeah, just to add to what Eden have said, and they're quite valid points. You know, there's a lot that happens to men. Men loves to be men love to be confident in what they're doing. They love their ego, they love to be in charge. So if he's in that state, there's a lot of things that is possibly going on in his life. There may be a lot of state, especially when you can see obviously that he's big. So he might even be in denial that there's no problem. He doesn't want to even acknowledge that there's a problem. And that is why he doesn't want to do anything about it. It could be shame. It's ashamed of what has happened. It's ashamed that he's like this. Men, when they are really big, it could affect our self-esteem, our positivity, our confidence. You know, we'll feel embarrassed. And we look at our friends, look at people around. We know that this is an issue, but the low self-esteem and the shame, the embarrassment that we feel, we wouldn't want to do anything, no matter what you do. Or you might even be afraid of even trying, because what if I try now and it didn't work, and I will feel even more embarrassed. Or he's just comfortable there. His habit and his choices every day is not helping at all. And when you see him in that state, another thing that could be happening to him, he might be depressed, you know. Yes, he might be depressed. He might be so stressed out with the whole thing. He's tired. So if you are just focusing on him losing weight, I'm sorry to say your husband is not going to lose the weight. He's going to be very defensive, because I could understand that you want to help him, but the way you approach this is either going to make him completely not to do anything, or he will want to do something about it. So if you approach him saying you need to lose weight, I'm not happy like this, well, you will realize that he would just be very defensive and he wouldn't be happy, because he's dealing with a lot mentally already. But if you come to say things like, okay, I noticed that you've not been your best lately. Is there anything going on? Is there something I can do differently? That approach is, you're not shaming him, you're not trying to embarrass him. He will feel more comfortable to see you as a teammate, as somebody that understand what is going on, instead of criticizing him. And because he's big, it's possible that he's not attractive to you. It just looks so uncomfortable. You're not enjoying the sex, you're paranoid, you're upset, you're not happy. And with all that, you just leave him there. And anytime you see him criticizing him, he already feel unloved because of a lot of pressure to lose weight. He feel uncomfortable, he's depressed, he's sad, and he doesn't even care anymore, and it's affecting your relationship. So focus on, how can I build intimacy with this guy? How can I build connection first? How can I make him feel loved, appreciated? How can I even use humor, support, whatever I can do to make my husband relax? Okay, try to find a way to be close to him. I know this might be very hard, especially if your mind is in this state where you just don't want to see him like this, and you've not dealt with yourself first, because the way you approach him will either make him get close to you, open up, and also willing to support. And if you're also in this environment, you want to see your husband change or get better. What do you cook? What do you provide for him? All right. You don't say, don't eat this, don't do that. No. I mean, you can do something and say, look, I want us to enjoy this together. If you cook without connection first, it's not going to work. If you try all your own plans and all that, and the man don't feel comfortable around you, you don't feel loved and heard, it's not going to work. He will not eat it. But whereby you have dealt with your approach to know what is going on in him, you try to get close to him, try to love him, even though he's fat. Let's be real here. He's large. Your sex life is not great, but you're like Christ. You have this heart of empathy. Put yourself in his shoe. You will not feel all right if somebody is just nagging on your head, lose weight, lose weight, lose weight. So start introducing the health options, the food that could help, Sometimes say, okay, let's take a walk. What can you do? Create date night, even though he's fat. Yeah, date night, fat date night at home. Do something that will make him feel loved and wanted. When you can get that, you see, that's little win. Celebrate that bit by bit, bit by bit, bit by bit, bit by bit. Before you realize, you'll be amazed. Your husband will just wake up like this and say, wow, this is going to change now. And he will, follow things through, but not constantly lose weight, lose weight, lose weight, lose weight. Men, it hit our ego, it hit our confidence, it affects us a lot. And every fat man, I'm telling you, if they are honest, every fat man is not very happy about the weight. They are not happy. They are struggling to lose it. Some of them don't know what to do. They have given up. They are stuck. They are tired. And if you now come to them as if they don't know already they are fat, as if they don't know already they are broken, they are depressed, and you come and make them as if they don't know what is going on, I can tell you for years to come, it's not even going to take any action. So change your approach and look for a better way to approach it. And I think.
And final words, even if you cannot be an excited lover, be a compassionate friend. That you can be.
Right.
That you can be.
Right.
Yes,
That's
and that's
right.
a good place to start.
Even if you cannot be
an excited lover,
an excited lover,
you can be yes. That's the beer parlor wisdom. Do you know why men go to beer parlor? Because even a fool has jokes in the beer parlor. You will see someone say, Babangida. Hey, the guy will be miss. Everybody is wise in a beer parlor. Because beer parlor has something the church can take, acceptance. Every fool has an audience in a beer parlor. So you see even the drunk person, and and I tell you told me and Delegiwa, they'll be clapping for him. But when they go home, they say, you don't know Delegiwa. We start to cut them. No. So people gravitate to where there's acceptance. Acceptance is not the absence of principles. It's just the presence of love. So everybody that are friend, they will hail them. So you don't have to be an excitable lover if you can't be in that season, but you can definitely be a compassionate friend. And part of being a compassionate friend is to have the same response. I have to salute my husband, Ambrose Onwuka. The way he responded to me when my body changed is the way he responded to me from even on our wedding night. If you see some of the pictures, you will be like, how? Like there were days I was like a man. So have the same quality of response to your friend, even if you cannot be a lover. Tayo.
Thank you so much. Coach Eden, thank you, Coach Shinda. At this point, please.
There was a question somebody sent to me, Eden, privately. I don't. Should we take it or should we just deal with it late? Someone sent me a message privately, and I just wanted to read maybe just 1 or 2 minutes. Yeah, just 1 or 2 minutes, please.
Okay, if we can do it in that time, yes.
All right. Okay. So my husband has not cultivated me ever since we got married. Everything for him is sex every day. What can I do? What can I do? No agape. I'm just feeling used.
So you know what I think? Honestly, I think we answered it in all the questions, to be fair.
Yes, we did.
We addressed it. We addressed it both on both sides, right? Woman, let me speak to you. You are a complete oven-baked cake. Complete. Everything God has given you is an addition. Do you understand? The icing is the addition. The fondant is the addition. I understand that there are seasons you might be feeling used, but I want you to love yourself first. You have to know that the Father loves you. You have to know that you are acceptable, you are loved. I don't want you to diminish your life while you are waiting. You are a complete baked cake. Everyone God brings our way in spiritual community, spiritual father, spiritual mother, husband, is the icing, the fondant. If you understand that God, you are a love being, created as an extension of God, the ruach of God, His breath is in you. Start from there. I want you to challenge yourself first while you are waiting for every other thing to change. I want you to challenge yourself to what I call relationship alignment. Change your relationship with yourself. yourself. This is the time to, rediscover your purpose. Do you know that purpose is orgasmic? Oh, you didn't know that? Oh, yes. Purpose is orgasmic. There's a fulfillment that you get when you know that your body of work has eternal value. There's a nourishment you get from spiritual community, from friends, do you understand? I need you to spread your net wide. Plug into community, serve, find your purpose again. And while you are busy, busy women and busy men are a turn on. If I revolved all my life all around my husband, I would have been a miserable wife, even though he's a good man. I am constantly cultivating my purpose, and that's why I have a rich, full life. So while we are waiting for every other thing to change, for you to, the act of feminine energy, you want to make sure that you're not the turn off. I'm not blaming you, but many of us have masculine energy. I have masculine energy. I didn't say I look masculine. Some of us are strong. So sometimes if you don't know how to rework the masculine energy, you will not be as attractive. So I had to learn it. I had to learn it to be tender, to navigate timing. We've talked about all that, but I just wanted to speak to you. Find yourself in God and lose yourself in the love of the Father first.
Yeah, and I think that's really, really valid, lady. She have just said it all. It's really, really important. I think you need to work on you. You need to continue to develop you. You need to change you. You need to ensure that you yourself is looked after. You are working on you constantly. Find your purpose, engage your purpose, feed yourself, get into a group, get people to talk to, and by the time you start doing that, you will find a way to communicate with this man. And unfortunately, it's also possible that the man doesn't even know how to love you. He was not taught. He doesn't even understand what is intimacy, what is love. All he knew that is just his dad have sex with his mom on a regular basis, and the mom doesn't even care. But today, you need love, you need tender, you need romance, you need care, you need cultivate, you need support. So it's possible the man has not been taught. He doesn't even know anything. And at the end of the day, his example that he got from his father, his community, his environment, is not helping the relationship. So don't focus on what you cannot control, because you can't control his responses, you can't control his overnight change. But I think you can focus on you. You can focus on what you can control, and that is developing you, working on you, get involved in changing you, becoming a better person, get engaged, get involved in things, because you are created. You're a masterpiece of God. You are not useless at all. And through there, the transformation will start going towards your husband. Hopefully, one of these days, he will join the main program and get involved. Let's do some mental inhibition to get you back together. It's challenging, but focus on yourself first. And I believe it will change the way things happen going forward. Thank you, my brother. Thank you so much. It's been great. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. This has been very impactful and insightful. I will bring up Pastor Gideon now. I can't even appreciate you enough. I will bring Pastor Gideon just to wrap up this meeting tonight and then pray over us all. Pastor Gideon.
Well, God bless you all. Thank you for being on this call tonight. I want to say a big thank you to Pastor Eden, and I don't know what is the appropriate title for Chinda. Should it be evangelist, doctor, coach? You are an amazing resource to the body of Christ. Listening to you on Thursday and today has been revolutionary for me. Thank you so much, Pastor Eden, for just giving of yourself, the generosity of heart to just bless us. And I want people to just on the comment area express your appreciation to these two amazing people who could have charged us. How much would this have cost if you were to pay for this? Maybe you want to put that on the comment area. If you really were to pay for this, how much would it have cost? I know that healing.
It would have cost a lot.
Oh my God! Please, can we be grateful and just appreciative of this gift? And did you know that if you left these two amazing people who would go on for another hour, they're doing this from a place of sincerity, a place of love, a place of a genuine concern to see people's lives changed. And I'm excited. Chinda, I can't wait to meet you in person. I can't wait for us to do great things and take these things to the nations of the earth. Pastor Eden, thank you. You are just amazing. And I want to just say, please, we want everyone to connect with this. Our facilitators. Please, let's put the information as to how we can connect with them on Instagram. I know there's some folks on the back end on whatever platforms we can connect with them so that people can go follow them and really just be part of their programs. Chinda and Pastor Eden run a lot of courses, programs that will be beneficial to you. If you feel that as a couple you want to have extended time with them, this can happen also. And so please, we have created this platform so that everything and anything the One Flesh community is doing, Pastor Eden is doing, Chinta is doing, we all who are part of this today can benefit from it. I believe that they have done this for free. There will be some things they will have to do for a fee. Is that okay? And it's okay. So because we have received of this for free, let's be willing to pay a fee for some of the things that they will further bring to us. But I really want to appreciate you. I want to just sign up by praying for every couple and everyone on this call. Father, I thank you right now for what you have done tonight. Thank you for the anointing that came with this presentation. Thank you for the humor. Thank you for the healing. Thank you for what you have spoken to. Lord, I know that we may never be able to fully tell the extent of the impact that has been made tonight. And Lord, we just thank you for speaking into our marriages. If you're with your if you're with your partner right where you are, and you're able to hold them or cuddle, or I know it's late into the night here in Nigeria, wherever it is, you want to just hold hands. Father, I bless every couple I that has heard today. Lord, I speak healing over every marriage. I speak that by your spirit, your precious Holy Spirit, you bring restoration, you bring redemption, you bring healing, you bring, oh Lord Jesus, a new level, oh God, of release and permission for intimacy in these marriages like they have never known before. Father, I pray that you teach every couple and everyone represented here who's in a marriage how to apply, how to adapt, how to assimilate all that has been taught into their specific marriages and situations. Lord, just teach them. Holy Spirit, you're the teacher. You are the enforcer in every relationship here. I pray that by your spirit, you take of what has been taught and help every couple adapt, assimilate, and apply it in their lives. I thank you, Father, that we will remember today for good, that there will be couples who will come back with testimonials as to what has happened today. I thank you, Lord Jesus, that today a new season begins. I speak over marriages. Healing comes. A new season comes over your marriages. We thank you. I sense strongly there are several couples here. God is healing you, and He's not just healing you. You're going to use what you've heard today to teach others. God is going to birth marriage ministries. He's going to birth coaching ministries. It's going to birth different kind of ministries out of what has happened here today. I sense strongly also, for you, Chinder and Eden. I sense what God is doing with you both. With this, is going to expand. It's going to grow into a community of people and a movement that is going to further help families and help couples. And I sense God would give you guys the blueprint by which you can put this together to further empower and help many homes. Father, I bless their ministries, increase it. They go to the nations of the earth, and may they continually be, oh Lord, in the center of your will for their lives. I bless I bless Engineer Wonka. I bless Chinda's beautiful wife. And I just thank you, Lord, for great things you're doing with them. And may their marriage keep being a model to all of us that marriage works if we walk it God's way. We give you the praise, Father, for all you've done. In Jesus' precious name, amen and amen. Thank you so much. Thank you so much again, Kinda and Eden. You guys have been amazing. I believe this is recorded. If I do want to give other information as to how people can watch this again and how we can share this experience with many more people, please, as many of you who just want to appreciate Chinda and Eden. I don't know. I didn't think of this before now. They didn't ask us for any monies for this. They didn't ask us to give them an honorarium for this. But if you realize that this is valuable, Chinda, that's the way they do now. Don't do that hand now. But please, if you want to bless them in any way, you can reach out to the One Flesh Ministry. You can reach out. You can reach us on our social media platform, and we'll be able to send you out possibly an account number where you can give specifically, so we can be a blessing to these people.
We've been doing this since 2020 now.
So when people bless you like this, I tell you, just be spiritually smart. That's the way it works. When they say we don't want, that's the time to say you must want. So please, however, if you're in the UK, if you're in America, please reach out to these ones and love on them. And we just want to say thank you. And we believe this is not going to be the last.
So I like to do my things like this. So let me put Chinda on the spot. Chinda, thank you for doing this with me. I know you had a rigorous program for 2 days, and I understand the sacrifice. I honor you for that. I want us to come back sometime in the year and do a full session on conflict resolution.
Yes.
Good?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Thank you. Guys, you just feel the heart of these two amazing people. I don't know. I feel so blessed. And One Flesh, do we feel so blessed having this? This has been arguably one of our most impactful sessions, at the One Flesh. And so we appreciate everyone. If you're in the city of Lagos and you want to be part of our church community, part of One Flesh, please, you can follow all of our information. Whatever happens, if we have your detail, we'll keep letting you know wherever you are around the world about what we are doing, both on this marriage platform and even as our ministry at large. We love you. Thank you so much. Busayo, you want to take it away? Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Pastor Gideon. Thank you again, Pastor Eden and Pastor Chinda. Just to quickly mention, if you check in the chat room, there's a feedback form. I will put it there again. It's been put there several times. Please fill the feedback form just so that we can get some feedback and know how to improve on these things. Pastor Eden has promised that later in the year we'll do a full session on conflict resolution. That session is going to be about 4 hours or even 6 hours, just kidding. But we're going to plan it and work towards it. And we'd really love you all to be there. So please fill the feedback form and we'd love to hear from you. Thank you for joining. Those of you that have been here since 9 o'clock, some people before 9 o'clock. Thank you again, Pastor Eden. Thank you, Pastor Chinda. Have an amazing night, rest everyone, and God bless you.
What a day, what a day. What a dream come true. I found the woman of my life. What a gift from God. My wife, my lady. You're the best thing, you're the real one. Hey, what God has joined together, let no man couple asunder. No way. Hallelujah, Hosanna be my song. Oh. Every time I look into your eyes, my wife, you. Hey. Oh no. Hallelujah, Hosanna be my song. Oh. Every time I see you smile, tears in my eyes. 'Cause you said yes to me. When I look into your eyes, what you see is love, 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 love.